Welcome to the D-Line.
Illegal contact, number 51, Senkutsu elbow thrust to the up back, Orimawatsu roundhouse lunge kick to the quarterback, Takatami insword block to the, shoot, never mind, 15 yards, first down.
Live football podcast on the Disruption Network.
You just got the feeling that he spelled the a-hole and then got it in the end zone.
You find out life's this game of inches. So is football.
And now, here's your hosts, Chicken, Caleb, and Sil.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Would help if I turn the mics on.
Here we are, Super Bowl week.
There
and
we
we
go.
almost made it with no technical difficulties this week.
Hey,
But
you
we're
know.
all right. We're all right. You turn the mics on, and here we are.
Hey, we're
we're
still
ready
here.
to play the game.
Awesome.
You gotta turn down the phone.
Oh, man.
I yelled at everybody, and I did it
Chicken.
myself.
Are you all right, man? Everything good over there?
Saturday, man. I'm not.
It is Saturday. It's not. We're not used to this Saturday special here. All right.
But yes, it's a Saturday edition of the D-Line, the Super Bowl edition, man.
The Super Bowl.
It's here.
Game edition.
Waited all
Super
year,
Bowl.
all year for this, man. And I gotta say, I gotta take credit. Beginning of the year, everyone asked me like, who I thought was gonna go to Super Bowl.
You thought your little fucking cuck boy Alex Smith was going to go to the Super
No,
Bowl.
I did
all right?
not.
You were blowing that guy from week one.
No, I did not.
All right.
I said New England and Pittsburgh, but then I said in the NFC, I said the Giants.
No.
Because on paper they look stout on paper in the beginning of the year, but then I said my dark horse team was the Philadelphia Eagles, and everybody thought I was crazy.
The Eagles fly, baby.
And I just knew, man, you put a lot of talent around Carson Wentz and some of these guys, and that coaching staff. You know, I got
John
for that coaching
John
staff.
DeFilippo, the best coach in all of football. That guy's
Right?
the next Belichick, man.
Speaking of dark horses,
I know, right? Holy fuck.
guy came out of fucking nowhere as a fucking head coaching candidate. It's just, it still just boggles my mind.
Sure. Well, as you know, because it's Super Bowl week, we decided that we'd have a full house today. I mean, we got a full house behind us here. So you want to introduce your deplorable friend over here,
yeah.
who's a fan of the team that's going to lose the big game?
This is our good buddy Greg Williams. He's been on the show before, and he's our resident Pats fan.
Welcome back, Greg. Half a bell for you. All right.
Half a bell.
And I'm over here. I brought a couple of my buddies. We've heard Ryan with us. Ryan's been on the fantasy chat with us before. Pardon me. Holy fuck.
Wow.
You clear your...
You need a cigarette?
Yeah, I know. Jeez, pass the cigarette, right? So Ryan's with us. He does a lot of. He's a big fantasy guy. He's sat in on the show before or he's called it on the show before with us. And then we brought our resident Eagles fan, who we went and saw the Atlanta Falcons take one right in the bunga hole from the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. The three of us went. Cody, he's our Eagles fan. All right, say hello, gentlemen. Go ahead. Hello, Cody. All right, Ryan. Ryan, is your mic on? Nope, his mic's not on, Mike.
And
No, yeah, it was.
There you
And,
go.
It was on.
Try it again.
Just happy to be here.
Nope.
No.
Again?
Just happy to be here.
And you played the Eagle sound, and that we could barely hear that too.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened. All right. Try it again.
It doesn't matter.
Happy to be here.
Hey! Fucking couple dings for that one. All
None of
right.
these things are labeled correctly, so
right.
it's like.
Well, it's the renovation. It's the new renovation that we've gone through, here over at the D. So,
Yeah, Greg, what do you think?
I think it's great.
There we go.
Oh, is that what you think?
got him.
Damn it.
Hey, got him. Man, but yeah, we're back here for what's this, our third week of the new studio.
Yeah.
Got a lot of room in here. Things looking great. We got a little artwork up on the wall now, I see. So can't complain about that.
And just in case you're wondering,
Yeah.
I'm wearing the Brian Urlacher jersey
Oh, tonight.
in honor of my boy.
Oh, he's
Trying
going
to
in.
get in a Hall of Fame.
He's going in.
Yeah.
He better go in.
He's going in.
I'm
in.
actually nervous about that because I fucking want him to be a first ballot, man.
What's our class? What do we picked this earlier in the year? What
Yeah.
do we think? We said Urlacher, right?
Urlacher, Ray
Definitely.
Lewis. See, and I think the Ray Lewis kind of hurts Urlacher a little bit, only because you got two middle linebackers
It
going
does.
in the same year.
Yeah.
But man, those two
Dude,
together,
they're the two best. They're the two. Like of my era and our generation, when I think middle linebacker, I'm going Ray Lewis. What about you guys? Ray Lewis or Urlacher? You guys got anybody else you can really? I mean,
Those are the top two. We're
Yeah.
the
Top
same tier.
I like Urlacher more.
yeah.
I do too. Obviously.
Why? Because he doesn't kill people.
You know,
That
but
Ray Lewis, he's a killer.
Strangely, I like
Guy's a
Urlacher
fucking
better,
knee
too.
slapper.
I do love Ray Lewis though. I mean, I love
I
me
do
some
too,
Ray
man.
Lewis. I love the intensity he brings. He's a true leader. I just everything he embodies, and he had a hiccup early in his career, but he corrected it.
Wait, you talking about the hiccup where he killed somebody?
He didn't actually kill anybody. He was never actually charged with murder.
Oh,
he was
just hanging out with people.
He was an accessory.
that fucking hiccup he had.
He was an accessory.
It's like you talk like that, like the guy went out and got a Dewey or something, like a Dewey going down a country road. Like this cat killed somebody, maybe potentially, but it was not
he
proven.
Was in a
You're
limo
right.
You gotta say potentially.
He was in a limo with the guys that were
allegedly.
Right.
It's like what Kobe raped that girl. It never really happened.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go.
No, that happened.
Oh man. But yeah, so I think now here's the question. I mean, we're going into the weekend with the Eagles and stuff like that. Is Dawkins a Hall of Famer? Do you put Brian Dawkins in? We were talking about this morning. That's my tough one.
I could easily. I have no problem him being a Hall of Famer.
No. I'm good with him going in. I'm good with him going in, but at the same time,
he was a finalist last year as well.
Sure, yeah. I'm putting a guy like, and this might cause a little controversy, but if you gave me the choice and you said we've got one more spot for the Hall of Fame, and your choice was T.O. or Dawkins.
Dawkins.
You're going Dawkins.
I'm going T.O.
Oh yeah.
You're going T.O. Ryan?
I'm going Dawkins.
Yeah?
T.O. He has too many records.
Yeah, he does, man.
We'll find out at 9
And
tonight.
here's the thing, though, with T.O. and why I would go with Dawkins over T.O. because Dawkins was a team guy. Right. T.O. was about himself. He had all the stats, but he was a locker room cancer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everywhere he went.
And what are you saying if you put him in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you put T.O. in the Hall of Fame, what are you saying?
Right, that it's good. Right, it's going to be a me guy.
Right,
you know what I mean.
It's a lot about. I mean, and that's been a long debate with any Hall of Fame. It's a lot how you justify putting someone in. Is it on the field? Is it off the field and on the field? Is it more on the field than you think about the off the field stuff? But you know what I'm saying?
But with T.O., okay, like he didn't get in trouble off field.
Sure.
He got in trouble in the locker room.
Okay. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like he on field he was great.
Yeah.
He could have been way better because he had a lot of key drops too. T.O. was
he
known
did.
for drops. One comes up with that.
Oh, here comes Mike Brown.
Yeah. We know about that one.
Just to prepare you guys, Greg knows this. Just to prepare you guys, you're gonna hear shitty Bears references all day. From these fucking idiots, all right? So like they're gonna talk about like something like fucking no name Mike Brown did like 8 years ago that nobody even fucking remembers.
No,
right?
that was like 17 years ago.
Exactly, man. You know how old we were. You know what grade we were 17 years ago. That's what you could say. What grade we were in. We were in the third.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right.
2001, right, Mike?
Yeah. All right. So
2 overtime wins back to back. Great fucking season.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Fuck the Bears. All right. Go Jets. Fuck your Bears. Go Jets. All right. But yeah. So what's our class? What do we got?
I have it up. Brian Dawkins, Ray Lewis, Randy Moss, who I could see.
Those are 3 shoo-ins, right? Can we say those 3?
I could see Randy Moss. Yeah,
I think Randy gets in. I think Randy gets in.
Tony Baselli, Everson Walls.
I know Mawai is up too. Kevin Mawai, the center for the Jets.
Let's see. Ty Law, Edgerrin James, Terrell Owens, Alan Fenica.
Edgerrin James to me is a bubble guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like
And Randy Moss got to be a shoo-in. I mean, this guy dominated the NFL as a rookie.
Dude, he was so fucking good.
He's got catchphrases. You got mossed.
Yeah.
You got mossed.
Yeah.
You know
and
what I mean?
you can never out-throw him. I mean, the guy, like Dante Culpepper tried. I mean, the guy had a cannon, and he would just launch it, and then like Moss just jump up and catch it. As a Bears fan, we've seen it twice a year, and he knocked our dicks in every single time.
And you liked it too.
You had to play him really aggressive. You had to threaten physicality with him.
Yeah.
That's how you beat Randy Moss.
weak.
Really,
he didn't have to go over the middle.
I mean,
right?
You know, really
Wouldn't
who
block for shit.
he's. we were another thing we were talking about too earlier today is, I mean, I think. I didn't see a lot of Randy Moss, and I think Randy Moss had more explosive speed than this guy, but he just reminds me of Julio Jones. I didn't get a lot of Randy Moss. You know what I mean? I didn't see a lot of him like when we were growing up and stuff. He was
Randy was way more dominant.
Yeah, and I would agree with that, Mike. I would agree with that. And I've seen the videos. I mean, who hasn't seen the 30 for 30 on Randy? You know that ESPN did, which was unreal. He went the guy was
I credit
crazy
Randy
good,
Moss for these coaches wanting these teams wanting to get bigger. Quarterbacks,
yeah.
You know, 6'2", 6'3" cornerbacks that are wicked athletic because of Randy Moss.
He was out jumping everybody.
Yeah.
And he was long and linky.
Yep. You know how to get up and get the ball at the highest point.
In the Pro Bowl, was it T.J. Hilton?
T.Y. Hill.
Ty
Nobody
T-
watched
T.Y.
that fucking game.
I watched
right.
the highlights.
I don't even know who won the fucking game.
But dude, we covered.
What was that, Cody? Get that for me again.
AFC.
Thank you. All right. Now I know who won the game.
We covered. Not only did we got the over, and we picked the right team. We rock.
Yeah,
chicken,
fuck yeah.
Chicken, not so much.
You mean in a game where they wouldn't let people tackle?
Yeah, dude. I think that's why the NFC.
The MVP gave the best blowjob of the game.
I think that's why the NFC was favored, because they had the running backs, but they never fucking ran the ball, dude.
It was terrible. As soon as they
I can't believe you guys are breaking this game down right now.
I'm just saying, let these guys fucking tackle.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, as soon as they stop the momentum,
exactly. Dude, the
there's no
refs
chance
were
to
on
get
the
extra
whistle
yards.
so quick.
Yeah, I think there was a Doug Baldwin play. Like, he caught it, and they called it dead because he was touched him.
Yeah.
But he broke free, ran for a touchdown.
Yeah,
He's
right,
freaking
yeah.
out.
Fucking two-hand touch. Like, doop.
All right, back to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was the good 1 minute for the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
I love it. I'm good with that.
Don't want to spend too much time on
Yeah,
that.
fuck that.
We got Johnny Lanson checking in over here. Johnny says that the only thing hurting Moss is he jumped teams.
I don't hold that against the guy.
I can't. You know what? In
He played
a weird
solid
way,
with all of
it
them.
almost seems like a better thing because he went to the Super Bowl with New England, broke records with New England.
Right.
Yeah,
sure.
And he did it with Minnesota. He had a little hiccup in Oakland, but everybody has a hiccup in Oakland.
You know, I forgot he was a Raider.
Yeah,
I forgot he was.
So does he.
Yeah, I would too.
At the end of the day, it's a business. You got to remember, it's a business. You know what I mean?
But he excelled everywhere. He didn't have a shitty year. You know?
And remember, Carson Palmer went to the Raiders to shit the bed there,
Right.
and then ended up with Arizona and having a good few years there.
Yeah.
Right.
So I blame the Raiders.
And that's Johnny makes a good point. That's an interesting take that some people do have and others, and I think Greg just put it perfectly. It is a business. Where you very, 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 very rarely see a guy in any sport now, any professional sport, that plays his entire career with one team.
And that's why you got.
It's hard to do.
You got to look at guys like Urlacher and Ray Lewis who are able to do it their entire career.
Realistically, that was the last of our time. Those two were the last of our time, and you're coming to a lot of guys too that are saying, you know what, like a Joe Thomas. He's been with Cleveland his whole career, but I think Joe Thomas is going to retire. And he played his entire career in Cleveland.
He hasn't made his determination yet,
Sure.
but it sounds like he's going that way because he doesn't want to put the rehab in. I mean, then again, he's played for fucking
12,
forever.
13 years.
Yeah.
Once you put your family in a place, especially a guy like Joe Thomas, he probably loves Cleveland. His family's there. His family's set up there.
He's a
He's
Hall of
probably got
Famer.
kids.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh,
first
yeah.
ballot.
He's a Hall of
Put
Famer.
him in. Jeez, crazy. Put him in tomorrow.
Ding.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. God, of course he is. But yeah, I don't hold that against the guy really anymore. I have a hard time saying, oh, just because you went somewhere else, like Peyton. Peyton we know is a Colt, but
Right.
at the same time he went somewhere else and won at the end of his career.
He went to 2 Super Bowls with both teams.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's a different story. That's a great point, and that is an argument that a lot of people use, but it is a business, like Greg said. So
We got a chance for 2 players to go to back-to-back Super Bowls on 2 different teams.
give us that stat, Mike.
Blunt
Go ahead.
and Chris Long.
Long. Yep.
I'm
They
telling
were
you,
both
man.
on New England last
That's right,
year,
yeah.
and now they have a chance to go against their former team.
Right.
I
and win
hope
back-to-back Super Bowls.
I hope the motherfucking New York Jets go after LeGarrette Blount because we're going to the Super Bowl if they do.
Dude,
Wherever LeGarrette Blount goes, they go to the fucking Super Bowl.
You sound like a Bills fan.
Wow, thank you, Ryan. And Ryan will get his first bell. Here's your inaugural bell, Ryan. There you go. Shit, that's such a good point. That's such a good point. Fuck me. All right, I'll fuck off. Who do you want to talk about now, Sil? What do you got for us next? Who's next in the Super Bowl? Or next
Okay,
in the
so
Pro Bowl?
Alan Fenica, Steve Hutchinson.
Yeah, those are
Fenneca
those
I
are
have
guys.
no problem with. Fenneca was a strong.
Yeah, he
strong
was. He
career.
was really good.
Hutchinson was
He was a
just
vet,
solid.
long-term vet
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Isaac Bruce.
No.
John Lynch.
Lynch and Dawkins, I can go either way. with
Lynch is what his 6th time around on the
Really?
ballot.
Give it
so
to him. I'd give it to him over Dawkins. I think now that he's a general manager and people are seeing how good he is, like his name's back in the forefront.
Yeah.
And I think that now he's going to look more favorably.
Well, that's the thing. If he doesn't make it
blah,
as a player, he could make it as a GM because he's having a fucking solid career right now as a GM. I mean,
But I think
they're,
now
they're
that
turning it around.
Now his name's with the writers again. They're starting to hear John Lynch again. They're like, oh yeah, he was a great player.
Yeah.
So-
Jesus Christ is his new quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. So I don't know if you heard about that or not, but that little Jimmy Garoppolo guy who has been anointed. Jimmy Garoppolo, I'd like to say again, his last loss in an NFL or in a football game came against Townsend in the F1AA quarterfinals. That was the last time he lost an NFL game or a football game. So,
Jesus.
Wow. That was a poll.
yeah, thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. I've dropped that before. I just wanted to show off to you guys a little bit quick.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah. Oh, here it comes.
I don't know where Silver put it.
It's on the second one. It's on the left-hand side somewhere, I believe, or the right-hand side.
What is this, a whorehouse?
The Giants have phenomenal fourth-quarter numbers.
Jesus.
All right. Kevin Mawai and Joe Jacoby.
I don't know who Joe Jacoby
Mawai.
is.
I would go with Mawai, definitely.
Mawai's in. Now, I think we got to talk a little bit more about Lynch or Dawkins now. That's the next question. Who is it? Who is it, Lynch or Dawkins? I'm probably leaning toward Dawkins if you ask me to put one of them in.
Only one has a ring.
Lynch has one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dawkins doesn't have
Now,
one.
the article I'm reading, the projected class is Dawkins, Lewis, Moss, Baselli, and Everson Walls.
No Urlacher, huh?
No Urlacher, yeah. That hurts so bad.
Urlacher needs to go.
Like, how is he not a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Like I said, the only one holding back would be because of Ray Lewis playing the same position.
Yeah. Well, and like I said
That's
when we were talking earlier, Urlacher was not a fan of writers and whatnot. He was not polite at all to them. So
yeah, but
that will hurt you.
He wasn't polite at all.
So was more of an introvert. He wasn't a guy that liked to
he
talk
wasn't.
to the media.
Yeah, you're right.
He just didn't like to talk to the media.
That's what Mike Brown was for.
That's the way athletes are, man. Some of them just don't like. It's tough for them to deal with that, and that's. I mean, yeah, that's part of the game, and that's part of your job. But give the fucking guy a break. What he did on the field speaks for itself.
He became his number. Like Jerry Rice became 80.
Yeah.
You know, Urlacher became 54.
Yeah.
Like you think 54, you think 34, you think Walter Payton.
Dude.
You know, like boom.
That's a good point. Yeah, yeah.
He became 54. Nobody rocked 54 before him.
Right.
Now you see these guys, they want 54.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. That's
12.
I don't.
12.
I don't
TB. That's where I was going. You're going TB.
No doubt. Yeah, absolutely.
TB12. TB12's making out with his son. I saw that video. I hope everybody else saw that too.
No, I
Greg.
did not.
You didn't see it, but I heard.
Oh, you'll see it. Yeah.
It made it worse. He was laying down. Like Brady was like laying back on his bed, and his son came up. And it was tough to see. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of kids, during the Pro Bowl, did you see Drew Brees' bratty little
Man,
kids?
nobody watched the motherfucking Pro Bowl. All right, Mike. Like, nobody watched
the
it.
highlights.
He's got like all his kids. It's like kids are running on the field, and the other kid's tackling the kid.
Yeah.
Then he's like, you see him like reprimanding the kid, and as he's reprimanding him, his other kid's jumping on his back. I'm like,
Oh my
dude,
What
you
if
got
we-
some bratty ass kids, man.
I would watch the Pro Bowl
He
again.
doesn't watch those kids.
I know.
I would
Probably
watch
doesn't
the
know their
Pro Bowl
names.
again if each player in the Pro Bowl had to pick one representative from their family to play in the game. I would watch. They could pick anybody they wanted. Their sister, their mom, their dad, their kids, their wife. It just couldn't be anyone with any professional sports experience.
Right.
And they have to go out there and coach those teams. The players go out and coach those
How about
teams.
a celebrity Pro Bowl?
In Hawaii, that would be. I'm good with that too. The players pick one of those. You pick. All right. You pick your son. All right. Your son's gonna play in the game, right? And like, so we've got like Drew Brees' son, who's handing the ball off to like Mark Ingram's mom. All right. I would watch that fucking game. All right. Tell me you wouldn't watch that game.
It'd be interesting.
That would be awesome. Like Mark Ingram's mom's in the backfield and Drew Brees' son's under center. I'm there.
Kind of like the
I'm
XFL,
there.
right?
Yeah. I am there. I'm watching that game. Anyone else watching that game with me? Because I'm tuning in.
I
hard
would just
for
to see
that.
people get lit the fuck up.
Like Mark Ingram's mom is just like on the field.
Fucking got to do the turtle to get up. You know?
Yeah, she looks like Gronk after that hit. Like after the game, like Gronk didn't know where the sideline was. She was like kind of veering left. Shit. That's the only way I'm watching the Pro Bowl or talking about it.
I think
again.
they should go back to the after the season. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
watching it before you know the Super Bowl's coming, like you don't give a shit. You know, like but after the Super Bowl, you're coming off the high after the Super Bowl, and you're like, all right, football's done. You're like, oh,
got
wait,
another shot at
I got the
football.
Pro
Yeah.
Bowl, and you don't give a shit that it's a shitty game. It's just that
Right.
last bit of football before you
I'm
it goes
more
away.
likely to watch it if it's at the end.
Me too.
Than the in between here.
Well,
You
I
know,
think-
which I didn't watch.
I think too.
Right.
I think too with the in between, like if you're the NFL, and I'm sure there's NCAA rules that are just like forbidding it, you know, because God forbid, but put more hype on the Senior Bowl. Put that in the week because the Senior Bowl is next week. But put that in that week in between the end of the championship games and the Super Bowl.
There you go.
Put that in there. Gets the fans out. Like gets a team like the Browns who are sitting there, who are Browns fans who are probably done just watching football, but it gets them out there to say, hey, shit, let's see what Sam Darnold's going to do. Let's see,
Right.
or let's see what these younger guys are going to do. That gets you through that week, to get to the game. I
It's
think that's
something.
Hype something else, but the NCAA would probably have a heart attack about that. They'd just be done. So, But yeah.
Well,
so.
you wouldn't have. The NFL teams would still send all their scouts. I mean, you know, Patriots and Eagles would have somebody there representing.
Of course, yeah.
So
yeah, you know, I mean, even midweek, you got to send people out and stuff like that. You know, there's guys that are unimportant personnel. I guess.
So nobody's losing out. On drafting.
Did you guys watch any of the skills challenges?
I watched a little of the skills challenge.
I didn't catch it.
There's some that were kind of interesting. The problem is everything's so long. They do everything as like a obstacle course.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun to watch. I mean, the quarterbacks and wide receiver ones. I watched at the bar that night. And that was kind of cool, kind of interesting to the show. See like the quarterback receiver combos. So I didn't have a problem. I think that's something if they could stick with it and actually promote it better, it could do well.
You know what I saw? You know which one I saw was like like kick-tac-toe or something like that with the kickers. They had like it was like a tic-tac-toe board, and those guys like Graham Gano was terrible during it. He was like missing everything. Like he shorted because you're trying to like hit the certain squares. It's not really like I just like to see them like go like play a game of pig. Like start at like the 40, start at the 40 and just keep getting deeper and just kick bombs. That's what I want to see.
Get some nasty angles in there.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what we talked about this.
Nasty angles or try to purposely hit the fucking post.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, play a literal game of chicken.
Right.
Or pig. You know,
the dodgeball.
I didn't see this
fun.
one. No,
I saw highlights of that one.
That was fun to watch. Who kicked ass at that?
Was it Gano in it?
Oh,
there was a kicker in there who made like a big comeback for like the NFC, I think it was.
So it'd be Gano
kicked
for the NFC. Yeah.
Oh, it was Landry.
Oh, Landry.
Jarvis
Landry.
Yeah, he went off.
He won the whole thing for him.
No shit.
And what's cool about that dude is an athlete.
Yeah.
That dude is a straight up athlete. And that's what I liked about watching it.
Todd Sauerbrunn athlete.
Punter.
But
there's a weird Bears reference for you.
And I know who that is, unfortunately.
He almost won the receiving challenge.
Yeah.
And they came within like a half a second from the challenge there, which he won last year. But then he came back and pretty much single-handedly won that dodgeball tournament.
Yeah.
Which I thought the dodgeball was actually kind of fun. It kind of brought you back to like as a kid.
Well, that's the thing. Take these guys for this week. Like, make it fun. Take them out of their element. Play like pickup basketball. Put them on the court like 5-on-5, or put them out there like, I don't know, like have like a swimming relay or something like that. You know, like shit that's like you're like, wow, these guys are athletes. Or put them like on a baseball field and be like, okay, go play like 3 innings and just see where you know what I mean. Like that would be cool to watch. You know, not tic-tac-toe.
A few years back, they did like a marathon. You know, from every sport, and believe it or not, fucking baseball. A couple of guys in baseball came ahead of, you know, NFL guys would have a big lead, but at the end of the race, because it's an endurance like that, you know, baseball guys were kicked ass.
But it's fun. It's you know to exactly that point. It's fun to see guys go out of because these guys are athletes. That's what you look for when you evaluate a player, an athlete.
Right.
You know, a lot of guys have that background in sports that they've played something else, so they're good at something else. They're multi-talented, and they're not just like, well, I just play football. I don't know how to do anything else.
And what I like too is like when they're like, oh well, this is just dodgeball. This is my sport. But then like that competitive spirit
always kicks in.
Yeah,
and you see those competitive guys just want to win.
Those guys do a word search and they're locked in. You know what I mean? Like they're like ready to go. Like they aren't losing. You aren't. No professional athlete goes out there and is like, well, we just had a really fun game, and here's our participation trophy. You know what I mean? Like that's you know, yeah, exactly.
Right. I like to see them, but you see some guys like what's his name from San Diego? He did the drill, the wide receiver.
Keenan
Allen. Terrible. Like could not catch a cold. You know what I mean, this guy like didn't even finish the drill.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, and he had Alex Smith throwing the ball. Alex Smith was like throwing. You had to catch it one hand.
Do you need a minute, Mike? We can all turn the other way.
And he just like dropped every single pass. You know what I mean? So like he's a good receiver, but then like you start seeing it, you're like, man, this dude ain't got no hands. You know. So I think it kind of like it highlights people like Michael Thomas won it. I'm like, I barely know this guy. You know what I mean? And this guy got some ups, and he's catching one-handed. You know, like he's like breezed right through it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to watch it. I mean, he also had Russell Wilson throwing the ball.
Oh, jeez, your other boy.
There you go. But speaking of Alex Smith,
he's on the move. He's on the move. Yeah. He's going to the NFC East.
I did not see him going to the Redskins.
Neither.
That is so weird, man.
It doesn't make sense. Because you take a guy who's younger, who has almost the same skill set, if not better.
He had better Cousins had better numbers than Smith.
And with less weapons.
Am I the only one that's like? Go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Was it I saw a stat that Alex Smith had a career year, and it was his first year at throwing for over 4,000 yards. Kirk Cousins has averaged like 4,200 yards each season he's played.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Like that's what Kirk Cousins does is what Alex Smith did this year in his career year.
And he's like almost 10 years younger, right?
I think he's 5.
Five.
Smith is 39, 34 because he's got a 5-year with the Redskins will make him 39.
Same as Rodgers, right? They all came
something
together,
like that.
I would never do that deal.
I don't know why they wanted Smith over Cousins, but you got the impression that they didn't want Cousins, and I think Cousins goes to
Minnesota.
Denver. If I'm making, I think it's Denver.
Minnesota's making a push.
I have heard Minnesota. I would say Denver.
Kirk Cousins is going to be wearing green and white next year.
I think the Jets are the third option.
How do you go out and you pay Kirk Cousins all this money if you're Minnesota, and then the guy sitting there that got you to the NFC Championship game, you don't want to pay him?
I don't get it.
You know what I mean? That's a tough
he only had a
call.
1-year contract, didn't he?
They tagged him through 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Tag, which is
the Le'Veon Bell
which is a
treatment.
1-year deal, which is 25
You're talking about Cousins,
million,
Or
right?
Keenum.
Or
Keenum.
Keenum?
Oh, sorry.
Keenum.
Case Keenum's going to be bagging groceries soon.
How can you say that?
I'm kidding. I'm busting balls.
I
just wanted to get Sill. I wanted to get Sill so bad.
I literally just went, what the fuck's happening?
Who's this fucking
If
asshole?
you're Minnesota, keep the guy that knows your system. Keep the guy that has gotten you to the NFC Championship game. I mean, you got I don't want to say Byron Leftwich because that's who he reminds me of.
Don't call fucking Teddy
Bridgewater
Byron
Teddy
Leftwich.
Bridgewater.
Right, Leftwich was better. He had more of a better career.
Fuck you.
He did. He had a better career than Bridgewater so far. But Bridgewater is a huge maybe. He hasn't played in 2 years. So to have him backing up Casey, would do them better. I mean, now you got a guy who's starter caliber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who's played with your team, but then it can ease him into the role. So in case something happens to Keenum, if he starts shitting the bed or he gets hurt, you got a guy that your starter back, just like Nick Foles with the Eagles.
Right.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty well, right?
Yeah, he's doing
okay.
okay.
All right.
He's having all right.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
He's been known.
But man, I think Bridgewater goes. I think they bring back Keenum because I think they have to. Bradford. I think Bradford's gone. Bradford should retire, but I could see him in Arizona. And I think Teddy Bridgewater goes to Buffalo. My buddy who's in from Buffalo. We were talking about it last night, and he said he's like, I asked him. I said, what do you want the Bills to do at quarterback? And he said, I want them to draft somebody. I said, okay. They have 21 and 22, so they could go up and get a player. But he said if they sign Bridgewater, I'm fine with going like Mason Rudolph or like the 3rd, 4th, 5th best quarterback. Sign Bridgewater. You have that backup. That okay, we can go to Teddy and we trust him. It's not like if you're the Dolphins and you've got to pick up Jay Cutler, smoking a cigarette off the street because you don't trust Matt Moore.
So you give up on what's it, Peterman already?
Yeah, he's gone. Peterman's gone. Peterman's playing.
No faith in
Canada.
Peterman.
No. Peterman's gone.
Saying bye-bye Tyrod.
Tyrod's gone. Tyrod, I think. I disagree. I disagree.
I don't fucking
get it. I think Tyrod's a talented quarterback.
So
he can run. He can pass. He's a solid quarterback.
Yeah.
He's nothing spectacular, but I think he's a good, solid quarterback.
How would you feel him in Jacksonville?
Blake fucking Bortles is in Jacksonville.
They're not. There's rumors they're not going to
Bortles.
sign him because he's going to demand so much money.
No, I think they said, didn't they? I saw a report recently that they said that we're keeping him as the starter. I think they want to stay with Bortles.
Now you got a surgery on his throwing hand.
I did see that with the
so
wrist surgery.
that hinders a lot.
If Coughlin can't
Bortles?
get
Bortles, yeah, wrist surgery that he's been playing with for the past like 2 seasons or something like that.
if
and they finally
Coughlin
got it
can't
done.
get Bortles, if Coughlin can't get Manning, then they stick with Bortles, and he's not going to get Manning. So Bortles is the quarterback in Jacksonville.
I think so too.
I disagree with what Ryan said. I don't think Kirk Cousins goes to Denver. I think Tyrod ends up in Denver. And I think Kirk Cousins will be a Jet. I'm just saying. I'm not even trying to be a homer.
You're fucking retarded.
Dude, but they have the money that they're the team that can give him the money he wants.
What about Tyrod at the Jets?
Fuck Peter. Ryan Sweet's on. He says, "Fuck Peterman."
Thank you, Ryan.
What about Tyrod to the Jets?
I don't think he fits really in New York with their offense. Kirk Cousins.
I would say, do the Jets have an offense?
Say,
Their best
what
wide
offense?
receiver's in jail.
Robbie Anderson.
Definitely catching
Tried to
passes.
kick the piss out of a cop. Oh, Greg, I got dying there. Sorry, I was a little late on that bell for you, by the way.
He is not a tight end.
Anyone else got any prison jokes?
He's
Anybody?
definitely a wide receiver.
All right. God bless you, Robbie. We're thinking of you, man. Stop kicking the shit, trying to kick the shit out of cops. You'll never win. All right. But no, I don't like Tyrod in New York.
I think he would do well there.
Yeah. I think he's going to surprise people. I think when he goes to another team, Bills are going to be like, oh, shit, what do we do?
Because now, like, if you're with the Jets.
I see you, Ryan. I see you on that.
You put him on the Jets, right? He gives you that running threat at all times, so they can't just, stock your hole.
Robbie!
But you know what I mean? Like, he can throw the ball. People think that, like, Tyrod can't throw. This dude can pass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good quarterback. He's a guy that could take the team on his shoulders. But I also think they should, if they do go with a route like a Tyrod Taylor, they should definitely keep McCown. Yeah, McCown's a great backup.
A journeyman.
Yeah. Like
he'll.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But I think if you can't get Bridgewater, and if you're the Bills and you go up and get Darnold at like 2, or Josh Allen, one of those two, I think if you're Buffalo, then I think you bring Josh McCown in. And I think you make Josh McCown your backup behind one of those guys. Because if you go that high for a quarterback, I'm a firm believer. That's why I know, like, with the mess that happened with you guys with Glennon and everything this year, I'm a firm believer. If you're going that high,
gone.
If you're going that high to get your quarterback, he's got to play. I know that's the Aaron Rodgers effect and everything like that, but if you're going that high to get your guy, there's a reason you like him, and there's a reason you need to put him in the lineup. So,
with John Fox gone, I think that's just black and white. I think you.
Oh,
you
Trubisky!
Why do you got to bring race into this? I
don't. John knows this.
But yeah, I mean, the Jets. I'm telling you, the offensive coordinator for the Jets right now is the new offensive coordinator is Jeremy Bates, who was Kirk Cousins' quarterback coach for 3 years, and when he was in Washington.
I told you what I think should happen with Kirk Cousins, which I think would be the best thing for him. Giants cut ties with Eli, bring Kirk Cousins in. You get it.
I'm gonna go get a beer.
But it all makes sense. If you make that deal, you bring Kirk Cousins into the Giants. You get a guy who is more mobile. So now the line, the bad line that they've had, isn't such a factor because you got a guy that can get out. Like Eli Manning's a statue. You need a really strong line to hold the whole time that he's trying to find a guy to pass to.
Yeah.
But you give Kirk Cousins Odell Beckham. You get him Evan Ingram. Sterling Shepard.
The ghost of Brandon Marshall.
Who knows if Marshall's coming back or not?
Marshall.
Yeah, if Marshall does come back, you got that weapon.
Yeah.
But then you go and you take your draft pick and you go after that Barkley.
Yeah, you have to go Saquon Barkley.
So now you got a stud in the backfield. So now you got a stud in the backfield.
He's the best player in the draft.
You got a younger quarterback with a good arm who was more mobile. I don't think. Then you pick up your line in free agency.
You got to pick up a line that's better than like me, Cody, and Caleb over there. They're fucking terrible.
But here's the thing about going first round with an offensive lineman.
Look at Cody.
Everybody's like, oh, they need.
You just fucking fell.
Everyone's like, oh, they need to draft lineman.
Yeah.
Well, they did with Flowers. We've seen how that worked out. We've seen with Gabe
He's
Green
about as cool as a flower.
Chris Williams. I don't even know if these guys are in the league anymore. So you're taking a gamble trying to take an O-lineman at first. You know what I'm saying? So you can get these guys in free agency. You're better off getting like strong O-linemen in free agency. Yeah. Fill in your holes right there. Now you got a more mobile quarterback. You got a running back that knows how to run the fucking ball and maybe be another threat out of the backfield.
I would love to see a running back with some actual talent behind the Giants.
Ryan's a Giants fan, by
I'm
the
a
way.
huge Giants fan. Eagles fan for the Super Bowl.
You see where I'm going with here? Like, get rid of Eli while he still has some
value.
I do see it.
But they can't. They cannot
then you
trade
drop
him.
Then you drop him.
They have to.
I know it's out of
and
fan
it's a $12
favor,
million hit.
But when you look at it from a business sense, I know like the fanfare would go nuts. Eli, you did him wrong, blah, blah, blah. I get that part of it. But when you can get younger and keep the same talent, if not better, so now you got a guy that can last, what's he like? He's probably like 5-6 years younger than Eli, right?
Oh, yeah.
So now you're planning for the future. Then you don't have to worry about drafting a quarterback now and then developing them. Because now if you draft a young rookie, now you got to worry about Odell Beckham. He's like, wow, man, I don't know if I want to stay here because now it's a rebuild. We don't know how this guy's going to shake out.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know
but
how I need the ball.
But, Mike, that team is so talented, though. To be honest with you,
I don't know if they're going to have the money to bring anybody else in. Because Eli, you're eating $12 million. That's a fucking lot of money.
Some of those cornerbacks are going to be gone too. They're going to drop some of those after all that shit that was going on with that defense.
Yeah.
Did we ever find out who their D coordinator is?
They just made a hire the other day. It's the guy from Arizona. But
didn't we talk about this last week?
Yeah, I was wrong. I thought
familiar.
Del Rio was offered the job. I guess
Right.
I don't know if he didn't take it or something fell through. But they ended up bringing the guy from Arizona and their D coordinator from Arizona last year.
What?
But did you guys see the lights go off at Pat Shurmur's when they announced him as head coach of the Giants?
Right. Well, that's Minnesota's
just
offense is going to go to shit next year too. Now.
Yeah.
So.
Aw. Yeah, but is it really though?
Sorry, guys.
They get that Dalvin Cook back. You know.
Oh yeah. So they can just rely on him now.
Yeah.
He's nasty too.
Yep.
He has something to build a team around.
Yeah, but I was laughing so hard. I watched that press conference. I had it on the background, and all of a sudden he's talking. They introduce him. He's talking, and just goes totally pitch black. And I'm like, and he's like, wow. Like the lights come back on, and he's like, fuck. He's like, I hope that's not a. He's like, I hope,
sign of things to
hope
come.
that's not a sign of things to come. And like all the reporters are like, ha, shit, fuck. So, but yeah, I mean, Alex Smith is in the NFC East now, and we will have Carson Wentz back next year. I think Manning is there, and then Dak. I mean, that's going to be a pretty good division to watch again.
Yep.
What do you guys think Philly would do with Foles next year? Think Foles wants out?
He's under contract.
Yeah, he's under
That's
contract.
what I was gonna say. Like you keep him.
You keep him.
Yeah.
He's gonna get some stellar offers though.
Yeah,
He's gonna get some big offers, and they could use him on the trading block.
Yeah.
That is
they
another-
could do that.
That's a good call.
They could use him in a trading block, and you get a team like in the Browns. You know, like I know the Browns. He's saying the Jets, but when you look
Jets
at
is getting
you look
everyone.
at where the Browns are in the draft,
We
board,
need everyone, Cody.
How many times have they drafted a number one quarterback? And how many times has that quarterback shit the bed? Johnny football. You know, like you know
I
what
can't
I'm saying?
even get a contract for the XFL.
Exactly.
Vince McMahon turned it down.
bad.
Too many drugs.
He fucking gave the Canadian League an ultimatum by the it actually should have happened 3 days
Tim
ago.
Couch.
So we don't know if they ever signed. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these guys, they burnt so many first rounds. Trent Richardson.
Consult
You know
the
what I mean?
jersey.
You know,
Consult
like,
the quarterback jersey. In
Go
Cleveland.
out, get a veteran quarterback. You know, that's where I thought Alex Smith would have been good at. But you go out and you get a veteran
offered.
quarterback.
They offered. They
Nobody
offered him a
wants to play
second.
there.
They offered him a second-round pick. They offered Kansas City a second-round pick for him. I think Alex Smith told him that he wouldn't sign there.
And that's what happened with Garoppolo.
And
Yeah.
you're talking.
They blocked him from Garoppolo going there. But here's the
And
thing.
AJ McCarron. Remember that trade fell through too.
Which AJ McCarron, like, really? Is that a franchise guy?
That was a fuck up on fucking Cleveland's part for not submitting it to the league.
Well, just hey, add it onto the fire. Get another log,
I'm
will you,
like,
Sil? Get another log.
But are you
right?
are you going to build your franchise on AJ McCarron?
No, I'm not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, you could with
Yeah.
Nick Foles the way he's playing, and then and it could be that fool's gold, too. You know, like we've seen with your boy Brock.
Boy, do I
Osweiler.
hate Brock Osweiler. Holy shit.
You know, like
I hate both of you for liking Brock Osweiler, even a little bit. Brock Osweiler is the worst quarterback I've ever seen, and Caleb and Cody will defend this guy until the day he
he's
dies.
definitely not the worst quarterback I've ever seen. He's definitely.
He's up there for me.
I think,
Nathan Peterman kind of takes the cake for the worst quarterback I've ever seen, but that's a small sample
Brock
size.
Osweiler. The reason why you think he
Have you
sucks so
seen
bad-
Mike Glennon play?
The reason why everyone thinks Osweiler sucks so bad is because he took the big money, went to Houston, and didn't produce in Houston. And after we seen early when Savage took over the team early this year,
Tom Savage.
they were terrible. It wasn't until you got what's his name there, Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson came
Now
in there.
that's
they
a
were able
guy-
to start moving that team.
That's a
was
guy
nuts.
we've been riding all year, man. I
love that
would
kid.
have loved to have seen him finish the season. He would have
Absolutely.
fucking swept the MVP honors, rookie of the year.
And you would have seen Houston
Unreal.
in
They
the
would've
playoffs
fucking
like
killed it.
strong. You know what I mean? Like he just and JJ Watt being hurt. They had a lot of injuries on that team. But you know, Osweiler took the big money, didn't produce. He only had 1 year in that system. Then he gets shipped off over to Cleveland. Never really had a chance to even play with the number ones there. And now he's back at Denver. Like the dude's been shifted around all over the place. He took the big money, which he should have stayed in Denver with the team that knew him, with the solid defense.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, he knew fucking Manning was retiring. Why the fuck?
He took
It
the
was
money.
his job.
Right.
Yeah.
He took the money. You can't blame a guy for what was it, like 60
No, I
million,
can't.
some
You're
bullshit
right.
like
You're
that.
right. I can't.
But it ruined his career because now he's a dud. You know what I mean? Everyone looks at him as a bust because he didn't live up to that huge money. Now, if he took minimum money and stayed with Denver or whatever, we'd be like, he's decent. He's serviceable. You know?
He needs to be like a Trevor. He should have been like a Trevor Simeon, like kind of got the job done to like a Peyton Manning. Like he really needed to just like move the ball, rely on the
Yes.
defense, and he just made too many mistakes. He also needed to like step back into like the Blake Bortles role. Like, hey Blake, go out there, don't make a mistake. Our defense is disgusting. Like,
But it's not easy to walk into a team brand new off the streets. Now you got to adapt to the whole team. You got to adapt to the new system, who the players are. Like, as a quarterback, that's got to be real tough because you're the leader of people you don't even know yet.
But that's part of the role. That's why you're a quarterback.
And I get it.
That's why they get paid the big money.
But it takes guys a year or two to develop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, especially a guy like that who's not a proven entity. He's not, he didn't go out there. He's not a Peyton Manning. He's not one of these guys that could just jump on another team and succeed. So I think he did himself a disservice by taking the money. He kind of ruined his own career.
Yes.
Agreed. Had he taken modest money, we wouldn't be talking about him in this regard as being a huge bust. Just my take.
Shit the bed.
Let's see. We got a Sean King and a
Sean King, the old quarterback from Tampa Bay,
and Henry Burris call out for worst quarterback.
Yeah.
Didn't like my hot take on Brock.
Did you say Brock was the worst quarterback of all time?
The worst. The worst that I've seen, not the worst of all time. Just the worst
saw
that
the
I've
debt
seen in
verse,
my
huh?
era.
Have you seen Glennon play?
I know.
Is that the third time we've asked him that?
It's like watching fucking Howdy Doody just and throw it to the other fucking team 4 times a fucking game. I mean, it was so gross.
Longwind, this isn't toilet paper, buddy, man. This should be a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Ryan Urlacher's in for us. We've wrote our votes in. All right, we voted. He's in for us. So I'm in on Urlacher.
So we got it's Super Bowl. And we decided to treat today like a party.
Right, we got food.
We got food behind us. The beer going.
We got drank. We got drank.
People start sending us your picks for the Super Bowl tomorrow.
Yeah, let's get the picks in.
Yeah. Let's see
if
what
you're out
you
there,
guys
you want
got.
to stop in,
I'm
pop
interested
in.
to see this.
Yeah. Stop down.
Greg, your sister's on. Your sister's watching.
Hey, Erica, what's going on?
Is she the one that lives in England?
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. Live from England.
We gotta say something. Your poor sister is a Bungles fan.
I know. I know.
Marvin Lewis. We'll say a couple of Hail Marys and a full rosary
That
for her
fucking
tomorrow.
guy's got more lives than a fucking cat, dude. Holy shit.
I think he's got like pictures of somebody.
Yeah.
Like he's got him blackmail. He's like, you can't get rid of me.
Yeah.
How does this guy not get fired already?
Dude, we just beat this one to death, but man, we are so right about it. How does that guy have a job? How does he have a job?
He's a solid coach. He's just can you say shitty in the playoffs? But
he's never won a game in the playoffs.
I know,
so.
right? Tony Romo has he doesn't.
Tony, can we talk about Tony quick? Can we talk about Tony? Cody, get in there quick. What did you say? Tony Romo is the greatest commentator of all time, and I am looking forward to watching him call the Super Bowl tomorrow. I am so excited.
Squish me with that whale blubber there, fruity nuts.
I couldn't be happier.
Take that fucking bell away from me.
I couldn't be happier to listen to Tony Romo tomorrow.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that.
You're there, Greg?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
man.
with you
That
on
guy is just so excited to call a game.
I
Absolutely.
agree. No, I've said the first fucking game I watched, I'm like, I want to watch more of this guy because he's fucking calling the plays before they happen.
Yep. This is who he should go to. This is what he's looking for. This is what they're giving him.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, it's like a big play, and it's like you're sitting there like with your buddies, like oh, and you can hear him in the mic. You can hear him in the mic. He's like oh. And then he's like, then he's like, I can see him bumping Jim Nance in the thing.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You see that guy spray the ball.
He's standing up.
But he's like calling the shit out that the networks are like, we didn't really want you to talk about that, but we're okay with it. Like the guy spraying the Jacksonville Jaguar players, he sprayed like the fans with a water bottle when he was walking off the field. He sprayed a couple of Bills fans with the water bottle, and like Tony Romo was like, I could see him in the booth like, Jim, do you see that? He's like, he sprayed him. He just sprayed him with a water bottle, and you could hear him laughing, and it's like this guy just genuinely enjoys it. He enjoys what he does.
See, like Buck and Aikman, they make those same noises too.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You.
Joe.
I'm so glad I don't have to listen to them and pencil neck there. What's his name there? Collinsworth.
Yeah.
I can't say it here.
Another terrible.
He's a
one.
Bill Walton of freaking.
Now wait a minute.
Bill Walton's hilarious.
Now in that fucking NFL Super Bowl drinking game, there's a Chris Collinsworth reference in those rules that
it is right.
Chris Collinsworth is brutal.
So who are we gonna get for fucking announcers tomorrow? Because you guys are confusing
We're
me.
getting Romo and Nance, right?
Are we?
I hope we're getting Romo.
From what I read,
said nobody ever.
It's on CBS. It's on CBS. It's got to be Romo and
All
Nance.
right. Well, cool. I'm hoping.
I'm going to write a strongly worded letter if I'm wrong.
But somebody sent out the Super Bowl drinking game.
Oh,
You know, if the Patriots fans call you a hater, you take a sip. If Chris Collinsworth says, "Now here's a guy," you take a sip. So that's why I'm like,
what channel is the game? Is it on NBC or is it on
Yes.
CBS? It's on NBC.
Yeah, great answer. Is it on TV? Yep.
Man, I fucking hate all of you.
You want to go over this drinking game still?
Yeah. If the refs make up a penalty to call on the Eagles, take a shot.
Oh God, we'll really be drunk there.
If you hear dilly dilly, take a sip.
The game's on NBC. I want to shoot myself.
Yep, Chris Collinsworth it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Chris and Al, the most exciting combo in history.
Bill Belichick shows any emotion. If you see a Eagles fan wearing a dog mask,
take a sip.
No, this one doesn't make any sense to me. If someone at the party keeps calling Brady the GOAT, you throw your beer at them.
That makes perfect sense.
That makes no sense.
It's because he is.
He
you
is.
guys got to fucking
Yes.
just get used to it.
Absolutely.
Joe Montana, you got to take a step down. And
Even Joe's giving it to him, probably. Joe's on his ranch, probably in Idaho or something.
MVPs,
Yeah.
4 Super Bowl rings, guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer. Now let's get my hand job into this red Solo cup.
Should be red and blue.
His son's already taking care of that.
Oh, damn.
I had to go there. TB12, baby.
Matt Patricia uses his number 2 pencil to write on his laminated play sheet.
Matt Patricia. That's Matt Patricia, the Vernon, New York native.
It's a special pencil.
It says do nothing because it's impossible.
The new head coach of the Detroit Lions.
The new head coach. And I mean,
Yeah,
all the
that's
dominoes are
shitty.
falling. I mean, McDaniels is going to Indy, too.
That should be part of the drinking game. How many times they mentioned that Belichick and his OC and DC are going to be coaching together for the last time.
Right. Oh,
they're
yeah,
going to
that's-
be pumping that storyline.
Yep. It's going to be like, Buddy Ryan carried off on the fucking shoulders kind of thing.
I swear to God, ESPN, the only people they know exist are Tom Brady and LeBron James.
Well, yeah.
I swear to God, that's all they know how to talk about.
It's a Disney company. There you go.
Yeah.
So where do we end up on here? The Matt Patricia.
Tom Brady complains about getting breathed on too hard. Take a shot.
I'll be taking a shot for that. Don't breathe on him.
Justin Timberlake rips someone's top off during halftime.
Oh,
Spit your
man.
beer out.
Jesus Christ.
Spit your beer. The Eagles headsets mysteriously stop working.
Who wrote these? Wait.
Someone that doesn't like your motherfucking team.
Oh, man, these are good. I fucking stopped reading the few way through, so I'm reading these for the first time. A small white guy playing wide receiver catches the ball for the Patriots.
Take a shot.
Yeah.
You'll be all
dead.
drunk.
You'll be dead.
Say first
All right,
quarter.
this
maybe
one we
done.
won't be able to drink to. You see a Steelers fan at your Super Bowl party.
Shotgun your beer, and it just lasts longer than they did in the playoffs.
Zing. You remember the Cowboys aren't in the Super Bowl because they didn't even make the playoffs.
Take a shot and laugh.
And Eagles win the Super Bowl, chug your beer. Set it down and pray for the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, that place will burn down.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that place burns. That place burns if they win. Oh man,
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
they better be out there greasing the fucking poles
Yeah.
right now again.
What I heard is,
and they greased them with like Crisco and stuff.
Crisco. Yeah.
That fucking lights up, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So
wait a minute. What? I didn't hear about this.
during the playoff game, their
NFC
last
championship
playoff game, they
The police.
telephone poles around the fucking stadium. They greased them so people couldn't climb
Climb
up
'em.
them.
They sent Greg. They
Oh,
sent
no
they
shit.
sent local business owners in like South Philly. They sent them letters saying, basically declaring martial law. Like, there's a chance that if they win or if they lose, like we won't be able to defend everyone. Like
Yeah.
if something happens, like we can't defend your business.
Lock everything up.
Take your flower pots inside.
Don't
take
leave
your
anything outside.
chain the
up
front of your
everything,
business.
yeah.
Like we can't. They literally, it's like declaring martial law. Like we can't guarantee your place is
Because
safe.
we know
That
how
doesn't
classy
happen.
Eagles fans are.
That doesn't happen in New England.
Oh,
That's
horrifying.
weird. We win all the time.
What I heard was that they're not going to do the Crisco for the game, but Pornhub tweeted them saying that they're going to donate like 50,000 gallons of lube to the city of Philadelphia.
God bless Pornhub. They've got it for us.
That's awesome.
Now Aikman and
Joe Bucker.
why can't we be calling the game?
They're like, we got to take that. I guess like United is offering like a flight like back to Philly at like as soon as the game's over, like you can go back to Philly. Like Buck and Aikman are like, we got to get first class. We got to get first class seats to that. You know.
Longwood saying they're using gear grease this time because they think people want to get their clothes dirty.
That's not a bad idea, actually. That makes sense.
But that too is flammable,
Yeah,
isn't it? Huh?
gear grease is flammable.
Yeah, but
it makes a nice little popping noise when it lights up.
like one of the not even popping, maybe boom.
No, just
oh. Can I get that
just
again?
open a beer?
I'm like, I
Can I
just
get that again? Can I get that again?
I
So?
just attempted something I can't do. Awesome.
Oh man, Jesus Christ! Thank you, Mike. Now
you deserve that one.
I'm so stupid.
Jesus, my God.
I hate that noise, but that was very appropriate for what just happened.
Oh, top of the hour.
Because I figure before we went into break, I just wanted to say in a total sidebar here, I had a phenomenal time at the party the other night.
I did too,
The
man.
D1 year
D
anniversary,
parties.
man. We got to mention that on air. I had a really good time.
That was a really good time.
That was
now your
great.
boy was just getting over the flu, but still got drunk.
You were not. That was not the flu. No bananas.
Well, you got a little close to me. So.
I did, and that's why I'm like, I'm perfectly
ill?
fine.
I mean,
Are
you
you
guys
ill?
should
I have a weird rash now, but I'm good.
Well, you know.
on his butt, which is really weird.
Yeah, I know, right?
I guess if you fist fuck me, we'll be even.
Cheers. But no, I had a really good time. I think you guys did a really
I
nice
did.
job, Mike. Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
was really good. I had a good time. A lot of good turnout, too.
It was
man.
an awesome turnout.
Really
it was,
good
It was
turnout.
packed in there.
It
The
was
deck-
great
the
too
deck
because
was
it's
full
all
of
friends,
Caballos,
man.
man.
It was all friends.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I seen people I haven't seen in years, man. They turn on, I'm like, holy shit, and I turn on again. I'm like, I couldn't move because I kept talking to people, running to people I wanted to like talk to, and I feel bad because there's some more people I wanted to talk to that I didn't get a chance to.
Sure.
You know?
I
I'm
kept
not
having
a
to leave the
vampire.
table to say, "Oh, I gotta go say hi to this person. I gotta go say hi to this person," and it was really cool. People, I haven't seen in years, and I was used to be really close with, and it was really
You know what?
cool.
You know what people said, and you guys can attest to this. I mean, none of the three of us had ever been there, but like Nicole Heichel came in and said, and she looked around, she sat down at the bar next to me and Michelle, and she's like, "This is like the EC."
It is.
She looked around and she's like, "These are like all the people I used to drink with when the EC was open." She's like, "This is the EC." And it's like, "Am I back at the EC?"
For one night,
So,
it turned back.
Yeah, I thought that was
EC.
I thought that was a cool comment that I knew you would appreciate, and I was going to pass along to Z. But yeah, I had a really good time. I think it was a
Great
really good
vibe.
event. Yeah,
Great
yeah.
vibe. You know, like everybody there was friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we did take our epic picture.
We won't disclose.
I
we
know,
will
yeah,
just
you guys.
we will throw it up.
I can't wait for everybody
We
to
can't
see
tell
this
them
picture.
We can't tell them.
We
can tell 'em.
We'll just should we just tell
So
them?
man, I haven't seen it yet. I saw it on the camera, but
It's coming. It's coming Monday. We're gonna get the picture.
Cool.
but
Yeah.
I gotta tell this story.
All right, do it. Let's do it, Mike. Yeah.
So we decided, you know, Caleb and Syl, they wanted to do a picture for the D line.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, all right, cool. So I was like half joking, I'm like, oh, why don't we take one of Syl on the shitter? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We go pour it in there, and
I was so in.
Sobriety. By the way, we had just got done with we were reading a couple Bible verses, and we were a little drunk off the church wine.
The poor guy at the urinal was like, what the hell are you guys doing?
He
Greg.
was mortified. It was Greg, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Or how about the guy?
He's like, what are you guys doing? Oh, I gotta see this because like a bunch of people come in the bathroom with a photographer.
There was a guy, dude. There was a
another
guy in the
there.
stall. There was a guy in the stall. And
Yeah.
we're like, and I'm like I go in. You and I went in, and we're like, oh, there's a guy in there. So we like go back out. We go back in.
We're
and, like,
waiting in the bathroom.
He's like coming out of the stall, and there's like 8 of us waiting for him. And he's like,
and luckily it was our boy Eric Leo. who,
Yeah.
you know, I've known for years. You know, so he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He sees the camera. He's like, "Oh, I gotta stick around." You know? So then we take the picture. Still commits, man. Drops trowel.
he went full too.
He went full in, man.
Oh.
He dropped trowel in the center. So we took a picture with our beers around.
That's how he got the rash on his ass.
Yeah, probably.
Caballos hasn't cleaned that bathroom in quite the time.
The best was though when we're walking out, you see like 10, 15 guys walking out of the bathroom laughing their ass up with a photographer. Yeah. Everyone else is like, "What the hell?" Are you
I
guys
felt
doing?
like it was funny too because I felt like when we went to take the picture, I felt like Tori was like my mom. Because like she came over to the door and she's like, "What are you guys doing in here?" And I'm like, and we're like, "We're just taking a picture." And she's like, "Oh, that's great."
Oh, speaking of moms, Chicken, your mom is so cool. You know, I had him take a pic, and I did the old reach around grab on Chicken's mom.
Jesus.
On her tatter?
I didn't touch it.
That's your mom, Chicken.
Yes, you did.
Get up and fight him right now.
She goes, "Let me see that."
The meatloaf!
She looks at the pic and she goes, "Oh, you got to delete that." She goes, "Let's take a real one." I go, "All right, go ahead, delete it." And I just did a regular one.
Oh, I was hoping you went back around
No.
again. And she was like, "All right, that was the good one." That was the good
Let me go.
one.
You know what? I didn't commit enough. Slap.
You don't want to fuck with Mama Duke. She'll knock you out.
No, she's awesome.
Wow, right in the kitchen.
But yeah, like I said, I big ups to Caballos too. The spread was good.
They
spread
took
was
care of
good.
us.
You
They
know,
took care of us.
It was really good.
It was really nice.
Michelle's tits were hanging pretty far out that
Yeah.
night, so I brought her along for the ride. So at one point, like we were on the like parking lots. You guys saw where we were sitting on the parking lot side of Caballos, and like Z was like down at the other end talking to someone, and he's coming back, and I didn't realize it was him. Like somebody just passed, and they like gave her like the biggest like brush across the back, and like kind of grabbed around like into this area. And I'm like, all right, who was that guy? Who was it? You know? And she's like, and I turn around, and it was Z, and he's like, he just laughs in my face. He gets about like this close, and just laughs, and I'm like, I wish I had my bell. So,
He's like, it was me.
No, we had a really good time. So,
yeah, I had a blast, man. I didn't wake up until. I actually crashed at a friend's house out in Sequoia, so I woke up at Sequoia at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, where the fuck am I? My car was at the bar. Like,
great night.
Yeah,
exactly.
Still drunk from the night before.
Well, what do you say? What do you say we eat some of this food that we got here? We take a break and then we come back and talk about this game that's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know
there's
who's
a game tomorrow?
Yeah, there's somebody. There's 2 teams in it. It's going to be okay.
I heard something about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be too much of a game, but we'll talk about
it. As we go into break, he drops that.
All right, folks. We'll be back.
All right, listen up, everybody. This is former governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're listening to the D-Line, only on Disruption Networks. That's the D. Do it now. Rah, rah.
Hey, it's Adeline Van Dyke from Coldwell Banker Faith Properties in Utica. I always get asked, why do I love real estate? It's very simple. I love my clients. I love every single thing about helping them find or sell their home. Making sure the home is solid and ready for sale or solid and ready for the buyer's inspection. To making sure that they're getting the best rate on their mortgage. Making sure they're getting the best price on their house. You know, just everything involved in the sale is vital. My absolute favorite part of real estate is when a buyer walks into the house they're going to buy. I can feel it before they even know they're loving the house. It's just that obvious. So I'd love to experience that feeling with you. So give me a call. Adeline Van Dyke, Coldwell Banker Faith Properties, 315-404-6431. Or you can find me on Facebook or visit my website at centralnewyork.com/Adeline. Thank you, and I look forward to welcoming you home.
When it's your hard-earned money on the line that you are investing into a home, it makes sense to choose a proven professional to assist you in making one of the biggest investments you may ever make. Josh's dedication of over 20 years to the home construction industry allows him to bring knowledge and experience to your doorstep. That means you can feel confident and comfortable with his service to you. Past clients love his attention to detail and thorough written reports. By allowing Priceless Inspections to help you make a well-informed decision concerning your property, you will find that a quality inspection is priceless. Follow Priceless Inspections on Facebook or call 315-525-8725. In the Mohawk Valley, for the best real estate service, you gotta have faith. Coldwell Banker Faith Properties, 315-735-2222 or www.centralnyhomes.com.
Now you can watch the D-Line on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch.
Hello, everybody. We're back.
We back. We back.
We're all stuffing our faces right now.
Having some good food.
Yeah.
Having some good food. Good tomato pie. Where's the tomato pie from, Mike?
Roma's.
Roma's.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Best
Roma's.
tomato pie around.
They won the Tomato Pie Fest last year.
Man, that's you know, around here that is a that's like fighting words. Like when you talk about like certain like tomato pies and stuff like that, everybody has their allegiance. It's like everybody. You ever notice that every Chinese food place is the same, but you always go to your place? Like
Right,
that
yeah.
is your Chinese place. Like every Chinese food, I feel like it's a monopoly. Like there's one place that distributes
Thanks
all
for being
Chinese
on top
food.
of that for me, guys. You know, I didn't put the camera on, but
What?
We're back. We're back. We're on. Hey.
Oh.
yeah. Speaking of
What's your
Tomato Pie
Chinese?
Fest, speaking of Tomato Pie
Tomato Pie Fest.
they are coming back for another round of Tomato Pie Fest. We went last year, man. What a blast.
Yeah.
They sold out like by like I think 1 o'clock.
Damn.
They sold out. Some people had to come back and get more.
Yeah,
And it
we
was
came
great.
back when we got there last year. It was everybody was waiting for the second round, so we got the second round of tomato pies. It was great.
I'll tell you. You know who has this really good one, and he was down here, and he's a very good friend of the show, or very good friend of the network, and he brought it down. He came on the show for the Thanksgiving special, and then sent more down for us a few weeks later. Was Timmy at Nail. Or not Nail, at
Utica Bread?
Utica Bread and Taylor and the Cook.
Yep, their tomato.
Man,
pie
he
is
sent some
excellent.
down.
It was. I liked that. Yeah.
It's not conventional. It's a different one, but
Yeah, it's a little different. It's like it's crispy and soft at the
Yeah.
same time. It's amazing.
So are you guys now for this little shindig tomorrow that you guys are doing? You know, this little game that's going to happen tomorrow. What's your spread like? What's the spread? Gentlemen? That's that's one of the more important parts of this.
The spread opened up at New England -6.
No.
I don't
think
care about
he
the
means
points.
Food.
I'm talking about the food, baby.
We're talking-
Food spread. Well,
I like where your head's at, Sil. You're all business. All right. I'm a fat motherfucker. All right. Like I want to know what you eating.
Well, we just determined the time. We're starting at 2 tomorrow. I know the
I
game
like
starts
it.
at 6, but
Okay.
we're trying to get extra meals in.
Of course.
I'm doing pulled pork, coleslaw, and some sweet rolls.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
8.5
What else we
pounds of
got?
pork.
Meatball subs, probably some
Meatballs.
Asian sticky rice.
Wow. Asian
Wow.
sticky
I
rice.
heard a mention of maybe a deep fried turkey.
No.
Smoked.
Our buddy Lenny is making a smoked turkey.
God bless you,
Yep.
Lenny.
And I'm bringing me and Jay. We're gonna go and we're gonna make a make your own Sunday station.
Jesus
We're gonna get
Christ.
ice cream. We're gonna get the chocolate fudge. We're gonna get the.
I'm going to the gym tomorrow
caramel.
morning.
You know.
Now I think because we're gonna do for all you guys out there tomorrow. We're gonna do some live look-ins on our parties. You know, you guys will be at the Patriots party. We'll have our Eagles party at my house. don't forget to put up a picture of the spread first.
Oh,
Get a good picture of it. Because that's, again, that is a very important part of the Super Bowl, the food.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
It's the most important part.
Food. The food.
We don't even drink. Like, come Super Bowl time, like, a couple years back at my house, we were drinking, but we had so much food. There's no point in drinking. You're going to fill up. You're not getting to touch all the great food. And for us, it's kind of like a bragging way of like who could outcook each other.
Oh,
And we come up with like these crazy concoctions.
And who can out eat each other. It really gets gross.
That's
it
where
really fucking does.
Did you try that?
A couple years ago, still made the mac and cheese with the jalapeno and the bacon.
Yep.
Remember that? That was really good. You know, I made that breakfast wrap. Breakfast roll. It was like a sausage roll.
Right.
Remember, I put a dozen
was
eggs.
So good. I remember it.
First time I went to your house, had that what was the meatballs with the jelly?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was mine. That was
That was really good.
And I took a dozen eggs, pound of sausage, pound of bacon, and like 2 different kinds of cheeses, and rolled it up and made it into like a sausage roll. And this thing was huge. I mean, it was gigantic. But each time you cut it, like each slice was like a breakfast sandwich. It came out perfect. It's the first time I ever did something like that. And luckily,
it sounds good.
Luckily, I didn't fuck it up.
Somebody just asked if they can call in. We don't have a number yet.
No, we are working on it.
We're working on it during the switch over. Yeah,
that's my piece of shit roommate. So, so he can suck balls. All right, kick rocks, Ben.
Kick rocks. Kick rocks. He must not be a Jets fan then, huh?
You know what his team is? The deplorable Miami Dolphins.
Oh wow! Who kicked the shit out of the New England Patriots earlier this year?
Yeah.
And you know what's wild? New England's going to play in that game tomorrow. Did you hear they're going to play that game tomorrow?
I think they're always playing in that game tomorrow, aren't they?
What are we talking about?
They're pretty good.
Amnesia is great.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Let's dig that. Let's dig into this. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this game.
Before we get into it, I want to give my sister.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
I don't know any of these words.
Just keep it going.
Nobody does.
Cody knows the entire song, but he's just too scared to sing it. All right, that's what this boils down to. That was like we like it, Mike.
I think Cody just got a boner.
Yeah.
I seen him fidgeting over there.
That's why he wore sweats.
Caleb, both hands on the table. Caleb.
He's got fucking Eagle sweats on. He's got this fucking Carson Wentz jersey, and I don't know if you guys saw. He's got the hat. Did you bring the glasses in?
They're in my jacket.
Oh my God, he's got the conference champions hat. Holy shit! You had that expressed.
He's committed. Oh. He's committed.
That's a nice hat.
And just the thing, like years ago, that went straight to Nigeria.
Love it. Yes. But let's talk about this. What do we think, gentlemen? Let's get into what do we want to talk about first with this game?
Patriots offense versus the Eagles defense.
That's the big one, man.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Why ignore it?
Yeah.
That's what we're all thinking.
I mean, and the Eagles this week have been battling the flu throughout their locker room.
Yep.
So Timmy Jernigan, I know, was hurt, who's a big piece up the middle for them.
Is it the bird flu?
Oh man, that sucked. That sucked. That sucked, Mike.
I don't know what HBN1. What is it?
That sucked. Oh man, cringing
Where's
into
the
the
bell
ground.
on that?
No,
I don't get a bell.
No, you don't get the bell. That sucked. No fucking bell. But Darby out. Darby's had the flu. Jernigan's had the flu. I mean, the coaching staff, the immortal coaching staff of the Philadelphia Eagles has had the flu as well. So it could play a factor, but at the same time, it's
when
like
Michael Jordan had the flu.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember when Tom Brady cut his
Lit
hand?
it the fuck up.
Remember when Tom Brady had stitches in his hand, and he just so happened to just absolutely roll in the fourth quarter?
Remember when Jim McMahon had the flu?
Oh man, I don't know Jim McMahon.
Fucking lost. Fuck off.
No,
chicken.
we didn't. We won. You did.
Jim
they
McMahon
played
back.
fucking. Oh, they played Minnesota. That's right. That one.
I was
negative.
I was -6 when
Bears
Jim
again?
McMahon was the quarterback of the Bears.
But what I'm saying is, like, these guys, when they have the flu, you hear, they might not play, and then they had the game of their lives.
They step up.
You know.
Well, here's the thing. You may start off, fluish, but once that competitive nature kicks in, your adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah.
You'll have
Cocaine
the flu later.
matter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You'll have the flu later.
You can take 3.5 hours off from the
Couple
flu.
toots. I mean,
good thing they don't do any post-game fucking
drug testing.
Yeah.
But I think you're absolutely right, and especially what Gronk are we going to get? What Gronk are we going to get?
You're going to get Gronk.
You are, and I think you're absolutely right. It's as Greg put it perfectly. It's the adrenaline going to that game. Like that's the Super Bowl. This is the big game. So going into that, he's going to be ready to go, but it's tough, man. I mean, it's going to be one sign of trouble for Gronk, and they're going to pull him right off that field.
Well, that's true.
You know,
so what I think needs to happen if Philly plays like they played against Minnesota, they give up a lot of underneath stuff, which we take all the time. You know, that's what we do. We dig and dock right down the field, and then we take a pot shot, you know, every now and again.
Sure.
You know, so if they give that up, it'll be just fine.
Yeah,
and Gronk can run those seams like he does, and those outs, and we'll be fine.
That's the Patriots offense. This is what it is. Here's the Patriots offense: white wide receiver out. 5 yards out, 5 yard out route, white wide receiver, Gronk, white wide receiver,
screen.
Big play, screen,
yep.
run the ball with name, insert running back that shouldn't be in the NFL's name.
Ironically, the running back name is white, who's black.
He's fast,
and whenever he's in the game, like he comes up with the big touchdowns.
Right.
Yeah, but none of those those running backs in New England, probably out of the 4 of them that are there. 2 of them shouldn't be in the NFL anymore, but they still are because that's what they do. It's
a great system.
You open up the field. You open up the field with 5 and outs, 5 yards and out. Beat us because every 2 plays, if we go 5 yards, we have a first down. And we'll march.
But you're also going against one of the best, front 7 in the league.
Yeah, that's
number 4 defense.
You're absolutely right.
That's the point of getting the ball out of your hands quick with those small stuff. And like I said, if they play like they played last game, meaning the Eagles, they gave up everything underneath.
Yeah.
You know, they were defended against the deep.
But that New England offensive line isn't that great either. We've seen that with the Dolphins. And Jacksonville was beating the piss out of them for a while.
They were.
You know what I mean? And I think that's where the experience level comes in, where like Blake Bortles versus Brady, they got him wheeling. They got him backstepping.
You know what happened? We were biting on all the
whatever.
We were biting on all the play action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They kept play action, and we'd come up, and then somebody be open. But Bortles they were throwing easy making easy throws and stuff like that. But the runner was killing us.
Sure.
And the refs helped New England win that game too.
Off with that shit.
One penalty versus how many for?
I always get a good chuckle when I see that picture of the refs in between, and like the refs and he's laughing.
That's a horrible picture.
That's the worst. But it was if you watched that game and you saw the play actually happen, or you go back and watch it, you're like, he's just like Gronk was probably busting his balls or something like that, or just like having a good time.
When it happened,
dude, it looked so bad.
When it happened, and I saw him laughing, I was like, "Do not!" Oh
no! Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Cue it.
Like,
so, now let me ask you guys this: the fans of the teams. Give us one, and we'll start. We'll start with the winning team. Cody, we'll start with you. Give us your X factor. Like, this has to happen in order for the Eagles to win, and then Greg, this has to happen in order for the Patriots to win. What is it? Is it does Jay Ajayi have to show up? Is it the Eagles' passing game? Is it obviously it's Nick Foles. Nick Foles is without a doubt the answer to this question. But besides him, like, what's the factor that gets the Eagles on that stage at the end of the game?
Well, they can't give up. So, like, Jacksonville, I feel like they kind of, like, slowed down at the end there.
I think you're right.
You can't do that.
I think you're right, Cody. I know exactly what you're talking about. Going into halftime, 2 timeouts, 50 seconds to go, and they just give up. So, I see what you're saying, but you have to play. You have to play the whole entire game. So that's you think just not quitting, running the Eagles' offense, what they've done and how they've enabled Nick Foles to do what he's done is the answer.
Yeah.
You think that wins the Eagles the Super Bowl? That burns Philly down?
I think so. Yeah.
My take is
I don't know who answered that question more, you or him. I fucking.
Well, we've talked about it. So
I think with Philly though, it's more dependent on their coaches being able to readjust.
When
because like that's what happens with New England. New England comes in, they show you one front like they did against Atlanta. They did it last week against Jacksonville. They or 2 weeks ago, sorry. But they show you a front, and you're like, okay, you're beating them, and you're getting kind of confident. So these teams, they kind of stick what they're going to do, or they play wicked conservative.
Yeah.
And they don't notice that New England kind of started changing things up a little bit. And then you notice, like, their cornerbacks will chip a little bit more. They'll, like, push on, be real chippy at first, so that it gets in your head, and it starts bugging you out a little bit, and they take little shots afterwards. And all that stuff builds up in your head. And then when they start reeling it on you, and now you're like, oh shit, now it's too late to adjust.
And you're in panic mode at that point.
Right, because now you're counteracting instead of attacking. And I think with Philly, and what I would hope to see, and what they showed against Minnesota, is that they can readjust. And they got the coaching staff, and they got the players where they can change it up any which way they want. So it'd be interesting to me to see if Jim Schwartz can keep up with New England's offense, and they change it up and make sure that they don't become too big. But if he can get pressure with that front seven,
it's going to be tough.
What was that? I can't hear you.
The what, Ryan?
What was that?
The what? And say that again.
The D-line?
Oh, the D-line. The D-line. We know that.
I think if the Eagles' defensive line can get to Brady about four or five times, they get that 4 or 5 sack number on the board. I think that's what the Eagles need to win. They need to push, stop the Patriots' momentum, push them back 4 or 5 times. They get to Brady. I think the Eagles can win this game.
Follow the Giants' game plan. Dink and dunk. New England's defense down the field.
I hate to say it, but
TOP, time of possession. TOP, time of possession.
Keep the game close.
Yep.
Don't try and blow them out, because if you're blowing them out, you're going to let down. Keep it close, so you're playing at 100% the whole game.
I disagree. Don't keep it close. You keep it pedal to the metal, man, because
2 Super Bowls over the New England Patriots.
How many
with that game plan?
How many
with that game plan?
Yeah, and how many didn't win with that game plan?
No. How many didn't win with your game plan? Seattle had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter.
That's a 10-point lead. We're not talking
28.3 lead. So far,
Seattle
you're 0-2 with your game plan.
Seattle,
and Jacksonville. Oh my God, you're 0-3.
No, if Seattle won, okay. Carolina, the Rams, Philly. How many points did they win by?
Oh, New England?
Yeah.
Oh, they win by 6 or less.
A field goal.
That's right.
Shit like that.
Exactly.
It's a mistake here and there.
You play New England's game plan. That's what the Giants did. Do it the Giants way. You will win.
Yeah, they played.
Eagles do that, and the Eagles' fucking coaching staff knows that. Yeah. They were part of that fucking team.
You blow them out the fucking door.
Nope.
I'm sorry. You blow them out the
fucking
door.
Keep it close.
And you keep the pedal to the metal.
You know what I think?
He knows I'm right. He knows that's
Chicken's
the way to beat fucking New England.
I think Chicken's got it. You have to Jacksonville gave that game up at the end of the first half. Instead of driving the field, they took a knee. They had 2 timeouts. They had time to push it down the field, possibly toss 3 points on the board. They tried to
the sack.
They tried to turtle that game from the end of the first half.
Oh, that's right. The delay a game penalty. That's right.
And that was big too.
Yeah, coming out of the timeout too, deplorable.
Yeah, that was fucking gross.
That was fake news.
But that's what they did against. But what they did against Minnesota, the knock on the Philly was they can't go deep. So what do? They go deep. Against the #1 defense in the league with the corners that nobody could compete against.
So good.
But
Minnesota
they torched them.
Fucking shit.
They torched them.
Bad.
And that's what they got to do to New England. Put it in Brady's hands at the end of the game. I don't give a fuck. But if you got a 2-touchdown lead, you keep going.
You don't want to do that.
You know what?
If you're ahead that much, you don't want Bill Belichick to have the ability to run, to pass, to do all that. If you keep it within 7, the game's still wide open. He can hurt you more.
Yeah. You know what I think that one of the biggest Eagles X factors for me is keeping that swag. Keeping that loose swag that they've had. You know what I'm saying? That team, they go out there and it's just
chip on the shoulder.
They're having fun, but there's chip on the shoulder. But it's just
Philly's got the offense they can do.
It's just a good you watch these defensive players and they're just having a good time. I hate to do it, but I go back to the electric slide video. Okay, that was I'm sorry guys. I know I'm sorry. I really have.
Gotta have.
But that's that looseness. That's that looseness in as part of that team. Pedersen brings that around and brings that out of them. And I think you have to keep that. You can't change the way you're playing because this is the Super Bowl.
Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
I was wondering what that was.
Well, yeah.
We never got to go over the new fucking drops I had.
Well, now's a good time to do it, I guess.
But yeah, Philly's got the offense where they can take a 14, 17-point lead.
The ball is at the Patriot 1. The Seahawks break huddle. 2nd and goal at the 1. The quarterback, Wilson, is in the shotgun formation. Lynch will flank him to his left. 2 wide to the near side, 1 to the far. in the shotgun. There's the snap. It's felt high. Quick throw. It's intercepted at the goal line. It's intercepted by Malcolm
Greg,
Butler.
you shit your fucking pants.
Malcolm Butler
When
is
that happened, you shit yourself.
And here's
you
the thing,
absolutely
like,
laid a
you
fucking egg when they
got
did
fucking
that.
beast mode in the backfield, and you don't even play action. If you're gonna run play action to the fucking guy,
Exactly. Suck the fucking
I'm not gonna
linebackers in
lie.
the secondary.
I thought we
end.
lost that game. I thought they were going to hand it off.
I thought
he
Mark
got
Trestman was
him
calling
there.
plays.
Beast mode got him to that point.
Right.
And then they said, okay, we're not going to give you the ball again.
And the announcers, if just before this, the
You give
announcers
him the
are
ball,
like,
we lose that
I
game.
can't believe they didn't call timeout to give Beast Mode a break. Why didn't they just take a timeout?
Yep.
You know, it was ridiculous that fucking.
And
play
I would have
call.
loved the games on the line, right? The season, the championships,
Everything.
on the line.
You put
Everything.
you put everything on that fucking guy's back. Why? Because he wants it
right?
there.
And your O line, and you say,
Yeah.
guys, this is it. Let's do this. This is how we get here. This is how we play.
And he would have drugged 4 guys into the end zone with him.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Nobody was stopping him.
Yeah.
I would have given him a
Nobody.
fistful of Skittles and been like, do your thing, man. And that's what I mean. Like, you can't. I think these teams they want to outsmart Belichick and shit like that. And sometimes you just gotta punch them in the mouth.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta play ball. Yeah. And if I'm the Eagles, LeGarrette Blount's getting that ball.
You're the Eagles.
LeGarrette Blount's getting that ball on the 1 yard line. And you put all your eggs in one basket and say, fuck it, this is how we're going down.
Right.
But at least, they didn't even fucking play action. Like, that's what kills me. It's like, that was the dumbest.
Didn't they have
call
more
ever.
chances too? It was like 2nd and 1, but they had 20 seconds left. So if they didn't make it in, they could have done like that same
Something
play
else.
again.
Yes.
It
Yep.
wasn't like
and
this
they had
is,
a timeout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't this play or nothing. It was like, hey, we've got some. We can screw around with this a little bit, and they just
Right.
they went all or nothing on a play with 2nd down and 20 seconds left on the clock.
When you didn't have to.
With the Super Bowl in the balance.
Yeah, with Super Bowl, just the casual Super Bowl.
Just that little thing.
And that's why you can't keep it close with New England. You keep it close with New England, they will find a way to win.
They always do.
You know
You knew when you saw the theme in the Jacksonville game. Like, boy, did I want Jacksonville to win that game. Sorry, but boy, I wanted them to win that game. And you just saw it happening. You saw the stagnant offense. Like, we're okay with maybe 1 first down this drive. You give it to Tom Brady and chunk touchdown.
They
chunk,
got
chunk touchdown.
Run first down. 50-50 second down, and then it was always 3rd and long where they had to pass,
18,
put the ball in Bortles' hands, and it just wasn't enough. They got very vanilla the second half.
Well, and the other thing with Tom too is, look at who got hot on those last few drives. The guy who
His wife.
but on those last few drives, I think he caught. It was an incredible catch, and Tom put it only where he could have caught it was Danny Amendola.
Yeah.
He heated up. He got him going. Danny Amendola might as well have been sitting next to us on the couch watching the game for the first half.
Right.
He was non-existent. But that's how he does it. He gets someone involved in the game.
Yeah.
And that's the genius of Josh McDaniels. All right? And we've had many a conversation about coordinators that are good coordinators that shouldn't be head coaches. But you know what, man? That guy's a genius. And to switch the game plan the way he did the other day, I was like, the way he did in that Jacksonville game coming out in the second half, it was like you saw a different team coming out in the second half.
It was you
wasn't so
can't
much a
fucking
different
game
team,
plan for New England. You can't because you don't know what offense they're coming out in.
And I feel like Philly's the same way.
Yeah.
I feel like, we thought
I agree with
when against the Steelers, they went more power, short passes and things like that, and they played them a power game. And you're like, all right, well, this is how they are. This is how they have to play now with Foles.
This is gonna be a great
and
game.
And they came out in against Minnesota, and they just started going deep. I mean, they hit that bomb to Alshon.
They said, all right, well, what's Minnesota's strong point? Let's just fucking attack it. And they fucking destroyed them.
How does New England's defense match up against Philly's offense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Defense that
what
was
do you try and cover?
Non-existent for the first 5 weeks of the season. Who we saw was terrible for the first 5 weeks of the season. Sorry.
Premature
and now we're
hot lunch. Sorry, had to do it. Hadn't had one yet.
Amen. Amen. And now we're to a defense that's probably one of the better ones in the NFL now. So it's what are we going to get? Who's going to show up?
Now I'm curious. Now you mentioned Belichick always operates and take away the team's best offensive weapon.
Right.
Who is that for the Eagles? Is that Elshon or who are you taking?
Is it Elshon? Is it Aguilar?
Is it Ertz?
Ertz. I gotta lean
Ertz?
Ertz.
Is it Ajay?
I would take away Ertz. Ertz is always the one for a first down. You need a first down Ertz.
But Ryan, you can take away
Alshon's
Ertz.
got the big splash
And you got
plays.
Burton.
though.
You can take away
and
Ertz,
so does
and you have
Aguilar.
Burton, and you have Selleck. behind him who are serviceable and great players.
Torrey Smith can still take the top off too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it's tough. And then you've got
take my top off.
You've got and then if you want to
Can I suck your dick?
And then if you want to look in the backfield, you've got we'll start Ajay, then we have Blunt when we need him, then we have
always need a Blunt.
Yeah, well,
when you need it.
then we have Smallwood. It's like, okay,
you got Smallwood.
You definitely got Smallwood.
I fucking hate you guys.
Eat the sandwich. Yes, we're 5 years old.
I hope Brian Urlacher goes in your Hall of Fame. But I mean, it's just those are the options, and stop them.
New England's weakness is their defense. If you had like their corners aren't the greatest. I mean, they're okay, they're all right. But like when you got to cover Alshon, Aguilar, Torrey Smith, and then you got Ertz, you know what I mean? And then you got those guys covered. But then you got, like you said, Smallwood and LeGarrette Blount.
Jacksonville showed big weaknesses in New England's defense. They passed on running downs and they ran on passing downs. They ran a lot of just dump off passes, first down,
absolutely,
or rolled Bortles out, and that's the way it's short.
But did you see what
short
and
shit?
That's
what
the
how
Eagles
you beat.
did to Minnesota.
Did you see what Blunt did last against Minnesota, where he just barreled over like three of like the best tackling corners or safeties in the league?
He runs so high, and he still gets away with that.
Probably because he had a Blunt.
He's Blunt. Ah, my God! Walked right into it. I meant.
Upright,
yeah.
Oh, you think he's tall? Fucking A.
And then Ajayi, like he's been playing great too, man. Like they got the weapons that I don't know. I don't think New England has the defense. Great scheme. It's going to be really interesting to see how they're going to cover all these guys. And I think that's a great matchup. Their defense against Philly's offense.
Okay, to answer the question now for my side of the team.
Yeah, what's your let's go down the Patriots road now. What's the X factor? What brings the title besides TB12? What brings the title home for New England?
Okay, offensive line has to hold long enough for him to get the ball out.
Yeah.
Okay, he
can't
get hit too many times. Okay?
They held all last week. So.
And the defense has to keep Brady on the field.
Yeah.
The defense can bend but not break. We'll give up the 3 but not the 7.
Yeah, I think
that's going to win. That's going to win us the game.
I think you're absolutely right, Greg, and I think Sil put it perfectly earlier. The biggest deciding factor of this game, I think, is going to be whoever wins this will win on the scoreboard, and it's time of possession.
Yeah,
it's
you have to keep Brady on the field.
Who sustains drives, because these are teams. I mean, it was interesting to see the Eagles last week. They were just bombing the ball. I mean, they were airing it out. You don't see that.
Foyles,
you don't see that a lot.
He has to show up as well. I mean, I never want to go off of somebody being, say we're going to win if this guy doesn't play his best. I never want to go off of that.
Sure. Right.
But he has to show up. He has to drop those dimes in there like he was against Minnesota.
Right.
If not,
he can't.
That's it.
That's the thing. Yeah, they're each due for a bad game.
He was putting those balls. He was putting those footballs in places that only his receiver.
Yeah,
he looked like a starting
Torrey
quarterback.
Smith flea flicker,
he looked like a starting quarterback.
Yeah, he does, and I think he is. But I think one of the most important matchups in this game, if we're talking Eagles offense, Patriots defense, and I think this could win the game, is Gilmore against Jeffries. Stephon Gilmore against Jeffries. I think that's going to be the most pivotal matchup because Stephon Gilmore is you never know what's going to come out.
Yeah,
he's a very shaky player.
Yeah, he's a rough.
He's very good when he's good, but he's very, very bad. When
people don't understand how dominant Alshon Jeffrey can be.
Sure.
I mean, he had back-to-back 200-yard games when he was with the Bears, and they just stopped going to him. But now they're getting the faith back into this kid, and now they showed him respect. And we seen him last week. They offered him a longer-term agreement and everything. And now this kid wants a ball out for him. And you got to double cover Alshon Jeffrey. You do. He's what, 6'4"? He's 6'4".
Yeah, safety.
I say force him out of bounds so he can't catch it. That's how you play him.
Chances are he's going to be
he weighs $110.
Chances are he's going to be more in the middle of the field.
Right.
or jack him off the line.
You would jack him off.
Damn it.
Oh, I just pooped a little.
But yeah, I think I think another problem, as you put it perfectly, Greg. I think another problem the Patriots are going to have is Fletcher Cox and Jernigan up the middle.
Cox.
And I know you.
But who's their number one though, for Philly? Who's their number one receiver?
Oh, I was talking about their D-line.
But I'm saying, like, who's Gilmore going to be on? Is he going to be on Elshon, or is he going to switch up and go on to Aguilar?
He's got to be on Elshon.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's got to mirror Elshon. That's your best, unless Malcolm Butler's on him.
And do you cover? Do you double team?
He's kind of small.
Do you double team him? And then like who's covering Ertz?
Well, you get safety coverage. That's where you go. I mean, you're gonna.
That's gonna be a big matchup too. Ertz is whoever's covering Ertz because he's a freak.
Yeah. He's. Him and Kelsey, I think, like they play very similar games.
Here's the issue I have, right?
How is tight ends done against?
I wish I could give you an answer. I wish I could give you an answer on who I would have cover these guys, but I don't know anyone on the Patriots. And I'm a
if
big
you can
football
be
guy.
physical with Jeffries off the line, then you really don't have to worry too much about him in the deep pass lane.
Yeah.
Then you got help over the top for the other guys.
Yeah, but Greg, you know your team very well, and I tend to think I know football, but dude, I can't tell you where the help's going to come from against Ertz. I don't know what the guy's name is because New England doesn't have names. New England doesn't have names. They don't have named players. They have Gilmore and Butler. Name another D player in New England.
You got Chung.
Go ahead.
McCourty,
Would you say McCourty and? What'd you say?
He said, "Fuck you."
He stabbed him with a spoon.
But I mean, there's tons of help over the top that you can use. But you have to out physical one of the receivers, which is going to be the weaker receiver, on the line, off bat.
If you're going to get physical, you don't want to do it with Elshon. You're going to want to do it like Aguilar.
No, actually, Elshon's the guy you want to do it with.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it with Elshon because he's going to beat you. He will beat you.
No, that's how he's not exactly Randy Moss, but he's really close. If you physical him, and this is a knock I've been hearing about him in Philly but he has the past couple of weeks. He's going against what I'm about to say, is he doesn't fight for the ball enough.
Yeah. That's bullshit. After watching him for so long,
dude, he knows it.
Dude, do you remember the catch where he caught it over the DB's back and held it there? He went up and got that ball. I could go and play you an Elshon Jeffrey highlight reel where he goes up and attacks the ball.
See, when I was a Bears fan, I'd fight with you.
Yeah, but going up
he's always had it. He's always had that weakness, in the playoffs, he's stepped it up a notch. He's actually fighting for it now. So, will he keep that trend up?
I've always seen him go up and get the ball. That was always his trainer. That's where he got it from Brandon Marshall. Him and Brandon Marshall, they trained together, and they went up and taught the fight for the ball. That's how he got 200 yards. I think that's all bullshit. If you body up on him, he's got those long arms. He can fight you off.
I can't argue with you, but
it
is a knock on him. It's not.
I don't think it's.
I'm saying within the first 5 yards is what I'm saying. Within the first 5 yards is what I'm saying.
Oh, I understand.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I understand.
Get physical with him. And then stay with him after that. Now the timing is off of that route.
He's no
longer he's no longer an option at that point. You know what I mean? Once you break up the timing, especially in a game like this, once you break up the timing of a receiver's route, he's no longer an option. Especially that's great. Especially if he was the first option.
And you don't think those corners on Minnesota knew that? I mean, there were physical corners over there in Minnesota.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah.
They barely touched him. Like he would run up and then turn around like he wasn't gonna catch the ball and then take off.
It
was just ridiculous.
Long arms.
That wasn't the fucking Minnesota Vikings we watched all season.
The Eagles receivers were so wide open. There was no one around them for 10 yards. It was disgusting.
I don't know what Minnesota was doing. That was not the same Minnesota we'd been watching all season.
And the reason why is because they didn't know what Philly was doing. And that's why I think you're going to get a different Philly. Philly's going to run some new shit this week. Tomorrow.
We could see a power game tomorrow for all we know.
Tomorrow Philly's going to bust some shit out that we've never seen before because of that coaching staff.
And I think that's why they lose.
I think
that's why what was the freaking
Jim Kronaga.
What?
No.
What the fuck?
The Seahawks. That's why they lost. That's why the Falcons lost because they try new shit to try to outsmart.
I'm not saying in a critical moment at the goal line. I'm saying the beginning of the game,
scheme.
Just a couple new ripples in the playbook.
No, do what got you fucking there.
Right.
You play off the strength
that's
of your
what
quarterback
happens.
and wide
Everybody
receivers
deviates from what they've been doing
and mix in the running
and they try
game.
to mix it up to try to get us off kilt and then certain things like halftime
I just think Philly's going to
happens,
bust
and
out something you haven't seen before, and it's going to catch them off guard.
I don't feel they have to do much.
That's what they do
out
against-
of their normal to beat New England. I really don't. I really think.
If
I
they
think
played like
Philly's
last
got
game,
a great chance.
They looked a
at this
lot
game.
like us last game. They ding ding dong. I took shots down the field.
I said
that's
that too.
pretty much how we play.
I
You
said
know what
Philly
mean?
basically modeled themselves after New England.
I agree.
The way they built the team, you look at the team, they're strong all the way through. They might not have out of the like MVP type players. They don't have an Odell Beckham. They don't have Le'Veon Bell. But they got guys that are serviceable. The guys that they
Wentz
use.
was MVP talk.
He was absolutely, but they don't
Not anymore. But.
Well, I'm saying they take the old Belichick route where they put guys in situations where they can succeed and not try to do. I mean, who carries 4 running backs on a roster? You know what I mean? Like
You build a
roster?
system.
Yeah, I was
You did say
wondering the same
roster.
thing.
You did say
Fuck off.
roster.
But
It's sauerkraut.
But anyways, you carry 4. You fucking dicks.
Eat the sandwich.
Fuck you, Urlacher.
I mean, like, who brings four running backs? You know what I mean? Nobody these
Right.
days, and they utilize them all.
Yeah.
And so I just like the way they're built. I like the way they can change up from a spread out offense to like a smash mouth offense, just like New England can within the game. Just change it right up. I mean, now you got to tackle LeGarrette Blount, like
I know,
hitting him hard, and then you bust out with J.J. who could just take it to the distance. That's a tough call. So now you're bringing in all those DBs, and then boom, play action. You're sending it right over the top with those wide receivers.
That's gonna be the crux of play action. If they run play action like they have, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
because our guys bite.
They know they love that run pass offense they've been doing since Foles took over.
Yeah, they bite.
love it.
Well, you have to lean on those guys though when given the situation that you were in, given that you didn't know what Nick Foles you were going to get when he first started. I mean, that run, like Cody said, that run pass offense was huge for them, and it's what brought them where they are. They've won. They've proven in the playoffs, the Eagles, that you can win a low-scoring game that we were at, 15-10, or we'll shove it right up your ass, beat you 38-7. We'll put up points, or we'll ground it out, grind it out. So. It's going to be interesting tomorrow, man. I think now it is time, gentlemen. It is time to give your pick.
No, we got 20 minutes.
With your score.
I want to delay this.
Score. Pick and score. Pick and score.
I have two picks, 2 scores.
Huh?
It's like 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
You don't want to give your pick yet? So?
Gay robot in the house.
Word up. You don't want to give your pick yet?
I seriously, I don't know what to fucking do.
J.
Man.
Steve-
Yeah, you're scared.
Wait,
That's
wait,
why
wait.
you don't want to give your pick.
Jay Stevens checked and he said Caleb still uses Napster.
And iTunes.
And iTunes.
Yes. Yes.
We fucking hammered him for
and
that one.
AOL
last
Instant Messenger.
What was your AIM name, Mike?
Chicken Hawk 28.
There it is. You got it here, Greg. What was your AIM name?
Didn't have one.
Oh, sorry, man.
Hung like Donkey 24.
Dog Pants.
It's too cool
3.
for that.
Dog Piss 3.
Dog Pants.
Dog Pants. Wow.
Dong Pants.
No, dog.
Oh, Dong?
No.
What the fuck kind of name was that?
Dog Pants was funny.
Oh, man.
Dude, put your pants on.
You were a virgin at the time?
At
Yep.
the time.
Yes, he was. Come on. Listen, then I'll start it off. So you ready for it? You ready for it?
Yeah,
Here it
go.
is.
I know what you're doing.
Don't forget to give your MVP, too. Who's your MVP at the end, all right? So here it is. Ready?
Who's going to Disney World?
Yeah. Right? Here it is. Ready? Eagles win. Right? 34-27. MVP is LeGarrette Blount.
Wow.
That's my call. I think Blount has an absolute day. I think the Eagles are going to have a lot of chances on the goal line. I think that's where Blount shines. He's going to have a couple touchdowns. And I'm saying
So
Mike,
for a
can
running back to have 34 points, you're saying he scores like 3
touchdowns from LeGarrette. Mike, and can I and listen?
We take him out of the game before that
The
happens.
Eagles are going to win. Can I get it? Can I get it? Eagles win. Eagles win.
The Giants have phenomenal fourth quarter numbers.
I just had to play that one again.
So that's where I'm going. I'm going LeGarrette Blount is my MVP. I think he has an absolute day, and the Eagles are lifting it. They're giving Jeffrey Loria the trophy at the end of the game. All right. So Cody, would you like to go now? We're unsure maybe where you're gonna go, so we'll let you go next.
Big shock with the Eagles.
All right, Eagles. What's your score?
31-28.
Oof.
Oh.
He just price right.
Are you putting this game on the leg of Jake Elliott?
I am. Jake
30
Elliott.
points up on us?
He just totally price righted you, man.
What?
He just totally price righted you.
He did.
He went up by one.
But he's
Elliott.
But he's putting the game on Jake Elliott's leg, the kicker for the Eagles.
Well, he's gonna be in the game a lot.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting an end zone that many times.
Extra points, you mean?
Yeah, Eagles. EAGLES. So Cody, who's your MVP? Who do you got for your MVP? You're gonna cop out and go Foles or what?
No. I was thinking the same thing with a running back, but I think it'll be Ajayi.
Jay Ajayi.
Wow.
I think he's gonna have a lot of rushing yards.
Jay Ajayi, who started the season playing for the Miami Dolphins. Let's not forget that.
Great trade they did.
All right.
I think he believes so too.
Yeah.
Like he's probably like, thank God.
So, all right. So we've got 2 Eagles. Cody's got a decent score. Ryan.
I'm also gonna go Eagles. I'm thinking 28-24. My MVP pick is Zachary Ertz.
Ooh, good pick.
I think they're gonna pepper the shit. I think give him double-digit targets. I think he brings in 9 or 10 of them, 100+ yards, touchdown.
Okay.
It's hard to argue with that.
Got stats and everything.
Okay. Wow. Jeez, Ryan. That was all right.
You want me to get down to the specifics?
No. No, we're all set. Greg, go ahead.
I'm gonna go Patriots on this.
All right, Greg is
decided
where
chicken's
Greg's going with the Eagles.
Greg's decided he's going to pick the Patriots.
And I'm going 27-23.
Okay, all right.
27-23. Who's your MVP?
Brady.
TB12. I like it. I don't mind it.
We just broke into Tom Brady's house and tried to jerk him off.
Do you now
tried
with his mouth?
Free mouth hugs.
So you're not putting Gostowski out there to win this one, huh? You're just going TB12, puts it on his back, and he wins this.
What happens?
All right.
I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever.
That's inspirational. So now I saved.
Put me in the moment.
I saved for the end the 2 probably people that'll give actually a good analysis about this game because we're all fucking biased. So would you like to go first or would you like Chicken to go first?
Chicken to go first.
All right, Chicken, go ahead, buddy. What do you got for us?
Because I'm gonna copy a lot of people.
I'm going the Eagles. I'm gonna say 30-21.
30-21.
30-21.
Oh, I like it.
Motherfucker, I was.
I'm gonna go 30-21.
Who's your MVP? It's tough because there's so many pieces. There's so many pieces.
I want to say Foles, but I'm gonna say Foles.
Foles, all right.
It's either between Foles or Alshon, but I'm gonna go Foles.
Yeah.
Foles is gonna have to be the MVP to win.
I think so too.
Do you want to see? I'll make the claim because I think we're on the same page. Blunt might not win it, but I'll tell you something. I'll go out on a limb. I will say Alshon definitely has more than 100 yards receiving. Book it. He has more than 100.
He did say last year that he was going to be in the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't say with the Eagles, but he did call it. All right, Sil, it's on you.
Yeah.
Sil, what do you think, buddy?
That fucking Eagles offense is.
That's a good idea, Dr. Faggot.
You've been waiting on that one. You've been sitting on that one.
I had no idea what it was.
That one's been
absolutely.
That one's been. You've been warming that one.
I had no idea what that was.
Man. Oh man, that's great.
Glad it wasn't me.
You didn't try that one out on you.
Oh my goodness, that Eagles offense is at times unstoppable. And they've got the number 4 defense. The last time they legitimately lost was on December 3rd against the Seahawks. Who's got a great D? At the time.
You like your D?
Wilson.
You do too. Bud.
It's just tough. It's that offense versus the system.
Yeah.
And every ounce of me wants to go with the Eagles here because it just, statistically makes sense.
You know what, though? I'll tell you, it's hard to bet.
I said this.
There's the ultimate intangible.
2 weeks ago, do you go against history? Do you go against the system?
Yeah. Can you do it?
Is it that turning point? I still say no.
Yeah.
I'm going New England.
Okay.
Tom Brady, obviously MVP.
Brady is the MVP. TB12.
The guy fucking puts everything on his back and just rubs it in.
You said it was going to be a touchdown pass, you crazy asshole.
He's great.
You got a score or what? What do you think?
You know, I hate to pick a high score because the Eagles D is good.
Maybe a defensive game, yeah.
That's
why I said I had 2, but
I like 28-24.
Okay.
I like your score. So that's where I'm going with it.
All right, 28-24. I listen. I don't mind it. I
think you're
opposite.
wrong, but you know whatever.
Right.
I do think though that this game is going to be. I think player-wise, if I another X factor, if I picked one player, it will be the kickers, Gostowski and Elliott. I think they're going to play a big role because you looked at the game we were at. We were at the Philly Atlanta game, Greg. I'm sure I mentioned that earlier, but. That missed kick by Jake Elliott was. I mean, I felt when he missed that extra point.
Yeah.
I mean, the place was still jumping because they just scored a touchdown, but you could feel a little bit of deflate, and those are points that you have to go and get. When obviously extra points, of course, you know, but field goals. I think this game is won on the leg of one of these kickers. Not at maybe at the end of the game, but at some point there's going to be a huge kick that one of these two is going to have to make. And Gostowski's ice. You know,
and with that same point, like Elliott at the end of the first half in the Eagles game that we went to see, the 15. That's what you were going to say, Cody. He crushed that 55-ish yarder, and that was the game because the Falcons went down to the Eagles territory and could have taken a nap until 4 seconds left.
But I want consistency, Ryan. I want
the game winner.
I want the consistency of Steven Gostowski or an Adam Vinatieri.
If I can't have you missing.
I can't have you missing an extra point and then go down and bang that 50-yarder. Like I can't have that.
We got a couple picks over on the chat here.
What do you got for us?
Greg's sister Erica, she's going with Philly, 21-20.
Erica, I was going to give you guys a shout out. You, Jade,
right. and her
Bev, and everybody, Kaya, but never mind.
But her MVP, which is a good pick, is Fletcher Cox.
The MVD.
Of course, she would pick that.
Couple sacks. Okay, I like it.
I mean, that's a good pick though, because I mean, if he can get to Brady, let's say he has 2-3
It's been a while
sacks.
since there's been a defensive lineman. Richard Dent won the MVP.
Richard Dent, who played when I was -12.
But you know, like she brings up a great point. Like if he could get pressure on Brady and cause him to, you know, like fumble, throw an interception, sack him a few times, it could be a big factor in the game that we're not even looking at.
Brady may throw a pick this game. He may throw a pick, but we can get over that. I don't see the Eagles scoring more than 2 touchdowns on us. I don't see it.
I do.
I see him getting in the red zone a bunch of times and kicking field goals.
Cox is the straw that stirs the drink. I got to send her a video.
But I don't
stir your drink with your cock.
Getting in the end zone too many times.
Johnny from Singapore.
Johnny out there in Singapore.
He's checking in. He's saying he doesn't think it's going to be close. He's going Patriots.
He doesn't think it's going to be close.
He said 42-18. I think he's been tipping back a little too much.
Lay off the J-Mo, Johnny.
Christ on a cross. He could be right. It depends on if Foyle shows up.
Yeah.
If he doesn't drop those dimes like he was.
If he plays like the Oakland game,
yeah,
where he couldn't do anything,
right,
it's going to be a very ugly game.
And it keeps us with the ball.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
Nah, I don't think it's going to be that close. I think, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Definitely not.
What do you think?
Not New England. I don't think New England's going to blow them out. I was checking the line here, but I don't think New England's going to blow them out. They're not a blowout team anymore. Back when they had Moss and those guys, blowing teams out of the door. You know, like they'd fucking kill them. But now they're not built that way.
No.
They don't have those weapons that'll kill you like that.
Which is why my score is what I think it is, yeah.
But I don't know. I think if there's a blowout, it's Philly blowing them out.
Ooh.
If New England wins, it's going to be close. If Philly wins, I think it's going to be a blowout.
And I think, I agree with that statement.
Either
and
way,
here's why,
Philly's getting trashed.
Ooh, right? Ooh. Right. Either way, that city's doomed.
But
it's turned into Detroit after this.
Oh, Mike, with the hot take there. I would tend to agree with that statement. I think because the Patriots just go about doing their job just enough to win.
Oh,
You don't see them. You don't see them unless they're in Buffalo 23-3 earlier this year.
Right, yep.
You know, they don't really piss pump teams. They don't really kick the shit out of teams. It's hey, we're going to go out there and we're going to win. We're not going to overexert ourselves. We're just going to win. You know, and
that's a great attitude to have.
yeah,
That's
it
a great
is.
system
It
to
is.
have.
It is. Why? Oh yeah. Why go out there? Why go out there? And I think that's again
Well,
why
they bitch slapped Tennessee.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
they
a good
did.
point.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Tennessee didn't deserve even.
I
want
to see how these Minnesota fans are going to treat these Eagles fans coming into.
I've loved those stories.
The Uber.
Right?
Did you see the
The
Uber
Uber
stories?
drivers?
The Uber drivers are going to take people like other places where they get Ubers to games.
Did you see the Airbnb story?
No.
Yeah, people are canceling Eagles fans' Airbnbs without any cause. It's just like, nope, you can't stay at my house.
Just wear it. Just wear it. Like, oh man, that's. I mean, it's gonna be something.
People are dogging on the Super Bowl, but I think the way these teams are matched up, I like it.
I think it's going to be.
I'm
good
excited.
I think if you're going to match
I'm
up with New England,
excited.
it would have been. I would have liked New Orleans to match up against New England.
Yeah,
I like New Orleans a lot.
That would have been a much better game. But
I think this team matches up.
Why
with
you think
New
you would have
England
lost by
pretty well.
less?
I think it would have been more of a shootout at that point.
It would have been a fun game, but then you had those two running backs.
If
too
you
that
go
were
around the table, all of us picked a close game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us picked a close game.
I just don't think you like. I don't. You don't. When you go into the Super Bowl, you don't expect the first play of the game to be Jeff Saturday snapping the ball out of the back of the end zone over Peyton Manning's head.
No,
and then the
yeah.
game blow up to 50-7 at
Right.
one point.
Boy, that
you know what I
sucked.
mean? Like
That was
you don't expect that. You expect a good game. I want another game. And I was we were all this side of the table was young for it. I'm gonna hate to date you guys again here, but
Oh, you guys dated?
Where's the bell?
but
Not surprised.
think about.
I guess if you fist fuck me, we'll be even.
I want another Super Bowl that comes down to Pete Carroll not passing the ball. I want another Super Bowl that comes down to Kevin Dyson trying to reach as close as he can from Steve McNair to the end zone. I
Right.
want that. You don't want a Super Bowl where it's like, no, halftime it's like, I guess we'll hang out for the commercials. You know, like
Dilly
that's what I
dilly.
had. Yeah, dilly. That's what I had. That's the feeling I had during that Broncos and Seahawks Super Bowl was, shit, like we're just watching this for the good times and to get cocked. You know what I mean? So you want a Super Bowl. You want I want a good Super Bowl. I want 34-27. I want Cody's score. I want 31-28. I want to see Jake Elliott go out there and kick a field goal at the end of the game and win the game. Or
I agree.
I don't wanna see that shit.
I want to be sitting there
that's what it
yelling
means.
Noonan
Yeah.
at the TV with
Yeah.
10 seconds left on the clock. I really do.
That's
Yeah.
one thing you got to give Patriots credit for. They always had a good Super Bowl. It's always been tight, tight game. The game that you kept you
except
interested.
that one in '86.
And how shitty are our live look-ins going to be if the fucking blowout?
right. If it's a blowout, yeah.
Like
we're
if
gonna be
the
sitting
score,
around.
if the
we're gonna be
score's-
checking out the food.
If the score's 28-0, like Cody's going to be on the front
Send
porch,
my
like
phone.
hanging
Yeah.
himself. You know what I mean? Like, there'll be the live. Here's the live look-in. Cody's tying the noose. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Exhibit A.
that's going to be the live look-in. It's like, oh, here's Greg. Greg doesn't care because the Patriots have so many Super Bowl wins. And here's Cody. Here's the noose.
A live look from each of our fucking parties.
We're gonna be wishing for the Bud Bowl.
Exactly. Who wins the Puppy Bowl, though?
I want to watch the Lingerie Bowl. Do they still do that?
I have no idea.
Those girls would hit each other, man. That was entertaining. Way better than Justin Timberlake.
Well,
But
listen.
yeah, let's wrap this up, guys.
Let's go Eagles. Let's go Eagles. Listen,
Patriots.
good. You know, Greg, I feel like in the last few minutes here, I'm just. You went the Patriots too.
Yeah.
I'm sniffing a little bit here,
Eric,
boys.
hold on. Erica said that the Super Bowl doesn't start till 11:30 at night over there in England.
Oh, they'll be lit up by the time.
She better take Monday off.
Right? She should take
That's
Monday.
what I'm
off.
doing.
I'm hearing a bet. I'm feeling a bet coming on here. What's the bet? Let's put something on the line here.
What color will Pink's hair be for the national anthem?
No, I'm saying mine and Cody's Eagles are gonna beat Greg's Patriots, and still you're now lumped in on the Patriots train. Let's make a bet, gentlemen.
I don't bet.
I don't bet either.
Yeah,
you suck.
I work hard for my money.
Oh, I'm not talking about money.
She said she already took the day off, Greg.
We don't need money. We don't need money.
Are we talking sandwiches?
Whatever we want. I don't know.
Ass slaps?
What do you loser has to get spanked next week on the air.
Wait a minute. Old fashioned or old fashioned supreme? Big difference.
Yeah, exactly. Spit or no spit?
Oh, he knows the supreme. But yeah, thanks.
Homemade old fashioned? No.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
You're gonna whip him up something
from scratch?
You're gonna whip him up.
Oh man, Mike, get us out of here. Thank our guests and get us the fuck out of here, will you?
Wow. Thanks, guys, for coming in. Greg, Cody, Ryan.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you guys for coming. You guys got to come back, and we'll do a recap show and prove how.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Eagles!
All right, folks,
Eagles,
we'll
baby.
see you later.
Fly, baby,
That's
fly.
going to be great when we win.
We'll leave you with this.
Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly, score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to